There's nothing that can prepare you for a Hope-Calvin game.
It's not a regular game. It's a game of passion. It's one of great respect.
I expect it to be very close. I expect it to be hard fought. Anything can happen.
I can't imagine there's a more competitive rivalry at any sport at any level than Calvin Hope.
Down low, up away to the left-handed. 6 on the shot clock. Schwartz from 30 feet out, and he drilled it. Winkle all the way to the hole. Double pumps and hits the bucket. Bravo, Winkle. Up ahead, Scott. Don't look fast. On the backside, laid it up and in.
The race for the regular season championship of the 2026 Michigan Intercollegiate Athletic Association has come down to the final day. It's been a wild ride for the 4 teams atop the league, and today 3 schools still have a shot at the title, including Hope College. However, standing in the path of that coveted championship, though, is the Flying Dutchman's greatest rival, Calvin University, who themselves have aspirations of postseason success. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to another exciting afternoon, an electrifying afternoon of NCAA college basketball, as Calvin welcomes in the Hope Flying Dutchman to Van Noord Arena. My name is Bob Sack. I'll have all the play-by-play for you today. Former Calvin national champ Mike Lefever's alongside with the color analysis. And Mike, the schedule makers from the MIAA had a dream. 4 teams, all atop. Olivet's in first, tied with Hope. Trine's a game back, Calvin's 2, and they all played today.
Had a great day in the MIAA to end the season. Lots on the line, as you said, and you know, who would have thought in the preseason Hope and Olivet were picked 3rd and 4th in the league, but here they are with a chance for a title, and Trine and Calvin still with something to say about it too.
Indeed. Hope has been somewhat of a surprise, but Coach Greg Mitchell just seems to coalesce guys night in and night out and figure out ways to win, and led by a few really good upperclassmen.
Yeah, you know, as you know, coming into today, I'm looking at their statistics, trying to figure out how they're doing it, and it's a little bit of a mystery. The statistics don't necessarily coincide with the record that they have, but kudos to their coaching staff and certainly to their players. They're finding ways to win games at the end.
Led by Parker Hovey, who just seems to stuff the stat sheet in the MIAA, top 5 in a variety of categories. Had a great year to lead them, despite missing 3 games.
He did, in spite of missing. He got hurt the last time when Calvin and Hope played in the second half of that game, and Hope, to their credit, won 3 games without him, I believe, but he's back, he's full strength, and he should be ready to play today.
For the Calvin Knights, it's a chance, obviously, to play spoiler to the #1 rival, and yet the postseason aspirations are really all up in front of Calvin, and riding 4 wins in the last 5 games give the Knights a lot of attention in this game today.
Absolutely. I doubt that Coach Saul is using the word spoiler in the locker room. The rivalry name doesn't need any build-up anyway. These guys want to play and they want to win. 30-plus years later, I still get asked what my record is against Hope, and that's going to be the same for these guys in the future. So, and as you said, lots to play for as they gear up for the MIAA tournament next week.
And for Calvin, a great chance to send out 5 wonderful seniors with a memory they'll never forget today, led by Jalen Overway.
That's right. Special class. You know, Jalen got a lot of the notoriety even as a high school player when he committed to Calvin, but Trevin, Luca, Brady Ewing, and now Zion Ruckert joining them here for this year. It has been a really special class. They've achieved a lot in the last 4 years.
It's the 218th edition of the rivalry. Calvin and Hope coming up on WXSP TV, 96.1 The Game, and the Calvin Sports Network.
At Calvin University, innovation powers everything we do, from the classroom to the field. It's how we learn, how we lead, and how we grow together. That's why we're proud to partner with Applied Innovation, a regional company providing practical advice and cutting-edge technology, automation and imaging to drive business forward. Thank you, Applied Innovation, for investing in the future, ours and yours.
The coach just puts you in the game. Everything is on the line. Are you ready? Just like a winning team needs a strategy, your finances need a game plan. At Skipper and Osterink, we're your financial coaches. We strategize together, striving to adapt to every financial play. Your victories are our victories. Our goal is to help you be successful. Join the Skipper and Osterink team. Your financial success is our focus.
Are you eager to ask God bold questions? At Calvin University, faith in Jesus Christ is part of our everyday lives. Dive deep into the Word through campus-wide Bible studies where leaders mentor you. Worship daily with friends in chapel, each day with a unique theme. Explore worshiping in other languages and cultures. Own and grow your faith as you learn about God's creation and your purpose in it. This is your invitation to engage, to belong, to grow.
Today's pregame show presented by Howland Home rolls on here as we get you set for tip-off in this, the 218th meeting between the Hope Flying Dutchman and the Calvin Knights. Hope has won 111 of those. Calvin has won 106. And get this, in 217 meetings, just 16 total points separates these two schools in the all-time scoring. Calvin's won 4 in a row, including earlier this year, 80-65 over Hope at DeVos Fieldhouse. Let's now go to public address announcer Dan Spoolma for today's introduction of the national anthem and the starting lineups presented today and powered by Garrett's Appliance.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise or remain standing. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. To honor America and those who protect our freedom at home and abroad, please sing along with the playing of our national anthem performed for us today by the Calvin Pep Band under the direction of Sean Sudoff. Good afternoon and welcome to Van Ord Arena for the Rivalry. Today's game is the 218th meeting between the Flying Dutchman from Hope College and your Calvin University Knights. Let's meet today's starting lineups. First for Hope, starting at forward, a 6'5" junior from Shelby, number 24, Parker Hovey. For the Knights, starting at guard, a 6'5" sophomore from Plymouth, number 12, Jordan Scott. For Hope College, starting out forward, a 6'6" sophomore from Zeeland, number 33, Orion Yant. For the Knights, starting at forward, a 6'7" junior from Grand Rapids, number 2, Parker Swartz. For Hope College, starting at guard, a 6'2" senior from Rochester Hills, number 10, Justice Mims. For the Knights, at forward, a 6'5" junior from McBain, number 1, Trevin Winkle. For the Flying Dutchman, at guard, a 5'11" senior from Lansing, number 12, Marcus Warman. For the Knights, at guard, a 6'3" senior from Caledonia, number 5, Luca Ressler. And for Hope, starting at guard, a 5'10" freshman from Grand Rapids, number 31, Brendan Cargill. For the Knights, at center, he's 6'10", he's a junior from Holland, number 4, Jalen Overway. Head coach for Hope College is Greg Mitchell. Head coach for the Knights, Bill Saul.
That's today's starting lineups, powered by Garrett's Appliance, offering the latest lineup of the top appliance brands at very competitive prices. That's Garrett's Appliance, with locations in Wyoming and Kentwood. Mike Lefebvre, you played in this game some 35 years ago. You haven't missed many in the last 40 years or so. What's going through these players' minds and emotions before tip-off?
You're as high as you're ever going to be for a game. I mean, and this atmosphere is second to none, right? So it's what you work hard every summer for. It's the pinnacle of the season, and now when you're coming down when it's the last day of the regular season, there's a lot on the line.
Thoughts from you on a couple of keys to the game in this one today?
Well, shooting percentage. I mean, both teams have struggled really from the three-point line throughout the season. So if one of them can get hot, that's going to carry a lot. Jalen Overway, obviously a big piece for Calvin, and it's a big for Hope to figure out how to slow him down.
Always interesting to see when teams play Overway. Do they let him get his points and make sure the other guys are sort of quelled, or do they stop him and look at a way to contain him?
Yeah, we'll see what Hope does. But the reality is Calvin's got something to say about that if they can make some shots.
Ready to go. Orion Yant jumping against Jalen Overway. And here we go from Calvin as Hope controls the tip. Marcus Warman, senior from East Lansing, always played well in this game. Quarterbacks the offense. Justice Mims drives on Trevin Winkle. Back to Hovey at right point. As the Dutch cycle it around, 10 on the clock. Sims tries to get the bucket along the right baseline. Dishes it out to Orion Yant, and he cans the three-pointer for the game's first points. Good patience by the Dutch on that first possession. Parker Schwartz back in the lineup for Calvin today, number 2. Here's a good look down from Wrestler to Overway. They got him right where they want him, and Jalen's little jump hook drops through, and it's 3-2.
Big three-point shot by Yant the last time down. If they can stretch Overway out make him come away from the basket, that just opens up driving lanes.
Whistle will foul underneath, and it'll go on Calvin. That's Wrestler. Hope, not necessarily a great three-point shooting team. They come into the game last in the MIAA, shooting 28%. But it seems every time these two teams meet, Mike, somebody from the Dutch steps up who you don't expect to knock down some triples.
They do. It seems like since Van Orde Arena was built, the Dutchmen like playing here. They usually find one or two guys to get hot, and we'll see if it happens tonight.
Yant out top, the sophomore from Zeeland West, leads for Hovey. His long-range triple from the left point is too strong. Rebound gathered by Overway. Ahead to Winkle. He'll probe the right side. Kick it back to Wrestler. Spins in the lane. Bottled up nicely, and Calvin will reset with Scott on the left wing. Drives on Warman, now leaves for Overway. Triple from the left point. Off the mark, and Hope will give him that shot rather than let him go to work underneath. Warman drives on Jordan Scott. Muscles up a push shot in the lane. No, and Trevin Winkle clears for Calvin. Ahead to Wrestler. Down underneath Overway. Doubled down by a digging Cargill. Overway, little left-handed hook, rolls in, and the Knights lead at 4-3. So twice, Jalen Overway's got it deep.
He's gotten it deep, and Hope's not bringing the double team to this point. It'll be interesting if they have to change that up.
2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Schwartz with a knockaway off the hands of Parker Hovey. Mims off that Hovey high ball screen at the right elbow. Kicks right wing to Warman. Down low at the right baseline to Hovey. Spins on Schwartz. Nice up and under on Parker Schwartz. And Parker Hovey with his first bucket. He has had just a phenomenal season. Comes into this game averaging 17 points a game, 8 rebounds a game. 6th of the MIAA in scoring. Really stuffing the stat sheets all season long. Jordan Scott with a good spin move in the lane. Off the glass and in. And it's 6-5 Knights. Hovey hands to Cargill at the right elbow, and he knifes his way down the lane off the glass. And both teams getting to the rim here in the early going. Wrestler left point on a high ball screen from Overway. Now dumps it underneath to him. He's got it up on Hovey and Yant, and draws the foul, and Jalen will go to the free throw line. So far, Calvin having success getting it to Jalen Overway. We saw him last week against Trine, probably the team that's done the best on denying the ball inside. Everybody's got a different approach to dealing with Jalen.
They do. Trying, as you said, denying him the ball, but they also had guys with some size that could really body him as well. Hope doesn't quite have that strength to push him around.
Overway just having a All-American type year, averaging 23 points a game, 12 rebounds a game. Tops in the league in shooting percentage, scoring, and rebounding. Top 15 in the country in scoring and shooting percentage. Recorded 13 double-doubles. 70% free throw shooter. Cans them both from the seesaw battle. Continues here in the first 4 minutes. Knights up 8-7 with 3 to go. Here, 3 gone here in the first half. Yant out high, right wing to Sims. He'll take a 3. Calvin will give him that all day. He's just a 10% three-point shooter, and he jacked one from deep. Ressler into the front court. Leaves for Schwartz. Eyed the 3. Now dribbles on Hovey and sends it left side to Ruckert. To the lane he goes, and Zion Ruckert, the senior, who's checked into the game, lays it in for Calvin, and it's 10-7. Hovey bottled up at the left post. Dumps it outside to Cargill. He'll leave a 3-ball short. Parker Schwartz with the rebound. Ahead to Winkle. Down low, left block, Overway, jump hook with the left hand. Got it, and it's 12-7 Knights. And this sellout crowd rising to their feet in the student section as Calvin has opened up a 5-point lead. Warman step back on Ruckert, way off the mark. Rebound by Overway. Calvin with great defense here in the first 4 minutes, forcing some contested jumpers. Right point Winkle for the Knights. They lead it 12-7. Gives to Schwartz, who knifes his way down the lane. Has it blocked nicely by Yant. And then Yant threw it off Schwartz's leg, and it'll go to Hope College. 4 minutes in, it's Calvin 12 and Hope 7 on WXSP 96.1 The Game and Michigan Sports Radio. Back after this.
At Bergsma Plumbing, caring for West Michigan means more than fixing pipes. It means strengthening the community we all call home. As a family-owned business, Bergsma Plumbing values relationships. They take the time to sit down with you, explain the problem, and walk through the plan. Because informed clients make the best clients. They believe in the mission of Calvin University and proudly support the students who are shaping the future. Bergsma Plumbing, trusted service, proud partner of Calvin University Athletics.
Fans, today's featured Calvin men's basketball student athlete league planning for success is graduate student Zion Ruckert, who just scored that bucket. Ruckert is in his first year with the Calvin men's basketball team as a point guard transferring from St. Thomas Aquinas. The Colorado native is on the Calvin Dean's list and is enrolled in Calvin's MBA program. That's Planning for Success, presented by Skipper No Strength Wealth Management, providing the financial clarity, solutions, and service that allow you to focus on what you care about most. Today's game, Mike and I are watching for the Visser Brothers Teamwork of the Game, a key play where Calvin has planned, managed, and executed correctly. That's the Visser Brothers Teamwork of the Game, presented by Visser Brothers General Contractors, where a team of dedicated project professionals knows how to maintain your construction process on schedule and on budget. Mike, great start for the Knights defense here in the first 5 minutes.
Really good start for Calvin. But I'm guessing Coach Mitchell might have said during that timeout that last couple threes were were ill-advised, I would say at best. And they got nearly knocked one down. So.
Avery Sanchez, who just checks in, gets free on the right point, and the freshman from California pounds home a 3 to make it a 12-10 game. Winkle, left corner, spins, looks for Overway underneath, can't find him, so finds Brady Ewing, who's checked in at the left elbow. He'll drive on Hovey. Fake and lofts a little right-handed baby hook. No, rebound ripped out of there by Sean Weselick, who's checked in for Hope. Ahead to Hovey. Stops at the right elbow. Kicks it out high to Sanchez. Flips it to Weselick. He'll take a 3 from the left point. That rims out. Luca Ressler controls the boards. Weselick saw action in the first game against these two teams and hit a couple of those threes. Overway down low. Backs in on Weselick, finds Ewing open for a left Wing look, didn't take the three. Instead, leaves for Winkle, who will leave his three ball short. Controlled by Hovey. Into the front court, Avery Sanchez. Works on Winkle from that Hovey screen. Now kicks it down low to Hovey. Backs in and battles with Ewing. Bounces it right corner for an open three from Cargill, and he cans it, and it's 13-12. Hope's got 6 in a row, and they're back on top by 1.
Cargill really seemed to elevate his game when Hovey was out in January, and had a couple of big games with a lot of threes. He's certainly capable of hitting that shot.
Hovey got hurt in the Calvin game as Overway drives along the right baseline and is fouled underneath. Hovey hurt in that Calvin game in the second half, missed 3 games, and that almost seemed to, again, rally this Hope team to figure out who's going to step up. And they've had a number of guys who have really done it. Greg Mitchell really pleased with the way guys have come to the forefront in the absence of Hovey in those 3 games and since.
Yeah, absolutely. They are not, you know, as I said in the pregame, the statistics aren't necessarily bearing it out, but they're figuring out ways to score when they have to, and winning ball games at the end.
Common foul on Sanchez. Calvin inbounds it. Scott out high, left wing to Ruckert, finds Swartz for an open 3, around and out, and ripped down by Sean Westlick. Good look from Parker Swartz. Had a big game last week against Trine with 13. He'll need his outside shooting today. Westlick out high. Hands to Carter Bishop, who's checked in, tries to find Westlick underneath. Zion Ruckert came in from the weak side and stole that bounce pass. Motors into the front court, leaves for Overway. Into the lane, he goes with the left hand off the glass. Good. Zion Ruckert just keeps coming, doesn't he? Just defensively, he's been so good and distributing the ball well, too. The senior from Colorado. Calvin back on top by 1 with 13 to go here in the first half, 14-13. Jared Riggs now checked into the game for the Dutch. Works the left side, elevates for the shot at the low block, and he is fouled. He'll go to the line and shoot a pair. Foul goes on Calvin's Jalen Overway. Talk about the different guys stepping up as Rigg hits that first free throw. Greg Mitchell will run a lot of players in and out of this game today. He played 11 against Calvin last time, and there's been 12, 13 guys that have contributed somehow in the last few weeks.
Yep. That's, you know, there's some depth there. He's probably in certain games looking for guys who can step up and help him. But overall throughout the season, it's given them a lot of guys who at least have some experience, and they can come in and contribute in a game like this.
One of those guys is the sophomore from Arlington Heights, Jared Rigg, who just hit both of those free throws to give Hope the 1-point lead. We've got 5 lead changes already here in the first 8 minutes. Scott probes the left baseline, turned away by Yant. Doubled up in the corner by Rigg, and ball out of bounds off Hope. It'll stay with Calvin. Shot clock at 15. And a whistle and a stop as the officials checking to see on the timing. Tell you, Mike, so far, 8 minutes in, 7-8 minutes in, a little more offense than I thought. I thought we'd see a little more of a defensive struggle, but these teams are finding open shooters, particularly Calvin.
Yeah, they're feeling each other out a little bit, and they, you know, when Hope came out of that last time out, they definitely extended their defense out on the perimeter more. And
off the inbounds pass, a long 2 from Overway on the left side. Misfires. Rebound controlled, and there's a shot clock again as the official stops play. Shot clock reset to 20, and that's what Hope will have. .27 seconds they'll place on the clock. 15-14. Dutch on top. It's been back and forth here in the early going. Hope with Sanchez, Yant, Bishop, Rigg, and Charles Howell's now checked in. And on the curl, Sanchez travels for Calvin. It's Ewing, McElwain, Jordan Scott, Luca Ressler, and Parker Swartz. So Jalen Overway gets a rest here in the early going.
Coach Saul will be really strategic about his resting of Jalen. He's going to play a lot of minutes today, but he tried to buy him some, half minutes here
Scott motors into the front court, gets past Sanchez, and then fights his way to the rim and off the glass and in. Good attack by Jordan Scott at 16-15 Calvin.
Coach Saul screaming for a foul on that. Thought it should have been an and one.
Yant out high. Hands to Sanchez on the curl, not a Howell. Rigg drives left baseline, doubled by Scott, and Ewing flips it out, intercepted by McElwain. Calvin with a 3-on-2 if they hurry. McElwain stops at the right elbow to Swartz into the corner. Is an open Luka Wrestler, and he drills the triple, and it's 19-15 Knights. Good ball movement on that transition offense by the Calvin Knights.
Yeah, great job swinging that by Schwartz to an open wrestler, and he nailed it in the corner.
Carter Bishop gets free on the right side, and he buries a triple.
Well, you are right about the scoring here in the first half. This is on pace for a pretty high-scoring game.
Bishop just a 21% three-point shooter, and he looked good on that one. Swartz in traffic in the lane, has a stolen by Bishop, out ahead to Yant, can't control the break, and on the run-out, Orion Yant crashes hard into that stanchion, that padded stanchion. He's all right, and that'll take us to the under 12 timeout. As expected, high intensity and maybe a little more scoring here in the 218th edition of the Rivalry on WXSP. 96 The Game and the Calvin Sports Network.
Biggie's Sports Grill, your next destination for any occasion.
With incredible entertainment and amazing food that makes you want to come back for more.
Where family memories are made.
Where sports are enjoyed and friends gather.
Cheers to good times, great friends, and a place where the game is always on. Only at Big E's.
In addition to the 4,000 plus fans crammed in here to Van Noord Arena today, thousands more are watching the broadcast throughout the country at viewing parties around the nation and around the globe on CalvinKnights.com. Hundreds of fans have gathered at over a dozen alumni watch parties across America in cities like Seattle, to Phoenix, to Denver, to Austin, Chicago, Milwaukee, Pella, Iowa. A couple of sites in Southwest Florida and all the way up to New York City. Much fun today here on campus as well. The School of Education won the Texas Chili Cook-Off. And Mike, I tell you what, this game just leaves an indelible impression on the alums of both schools.
It really does. It's a date to mark on your calendar every year, and I've had a chance to be at a few of those sites over the years when work would bring me into Phoenix or Bradenton, Florida. I got a text from my friend Todd in Bellflower, California a little bit ago, and they're watching. So yeah, there's alumni of both schools all over the country tuning in today.
Knights go back to work on offense. Winkle works the left baseline, turned away by Hope. Not an Overway top side. Leaves for Wrestler, a little two-man game with Overway down low. Got him right where he wanted him at the right block, and Jalen up, kisses it off the glass for two more. What a start for Overway.
Really nice play there by both Wrestler and Overway. They read each other perfectly on that one.
12 points already for the 6'10 senior from Holland Christian. Nice by three. Yant will take a long three ball off the flange, way off, but Justice Mims skied for the offensive boards, and Hope controls. Hovey drives the right baseline, bounces it left corner to Cargill, in and out on that three ball. Battle for the rebound, controlled by Warman. Pass to Hovey, cutting down the lane, knocked out of his hands by Overway, saved by a Wrestler into the hands of Winkle. 3-on-2 fast break, but back to make the defensive play was Brendan Cargill. He hacked Winkle, and that common foul.
Just hit refresh.
Will give the ball to Calvin. Offensive rebounding. Not necessarily a staple for Hope's offense, but they showed it there, got a couple of looks. Parker Hovey, Mike, just with 2 points here in the first half, but he usually lets the game come to him. Wrestler with a high arcing triple from deep on the left wing, and Calvin leads it 24-18. Hovey top side, watched down by Ewing. Gives to a curling Cargill, leaves for Simon Newhouse, who's into the game. Hovey top side, little dipsy doodle move on Ewing, took it to the rack, and as he did, here's a foul. Is that on Overweight or Ewing? They'll get it on Ewing. And that's good for Calvin. Ewing picks up his first, and Parker Hovey to the free throw line. Interestingly, Hope leads the conference in free throw attempts, and Calvin is near the bottom in free throw attempts allowed. So that's going to be a storyline to watch too here today, how the Dutch attack and how Calvin responds.
Yep, it is for sure. Conflicting stats there for sure. I would, in some ways, not surprised that Hope leads based on the nature of how Hovey plays. He does a lot of plays just like he did there, where he little juke, and he's going to go really hard to the basket. If he doesn't finish, he's going to draw the foul as he did there.
69% free throw shooter. Leads the team in blocks, leads the team in assists. Hovey, the junior from Shelby, up the road, Long Lake, Michigan. Second free throw is good. 24-19 as he splits the pair. Inside of 10 minutes to go here in the first half. Wrestler right wing. Watched by Justice Sims. He'll bounce it to the left side where Schwartz tries to go on Cargill. He's walled off. Leaves for Wrestler. Three ball from the left wing. Off the mark. Long rebound. Chased down by Brendan Cargill. Ahead to Justice Mims. Euro steps into the lane. Kicks it left corner. Warman with a three. That's too short. And controlled by Wrestler. Crossover dribble into the front court. Leaves for Scott. He'll knife his way to the basket. Then skip it right corner to Winkle. Back to Wrestler, and they set it up and then cycle it around left corner. Scott, three on the way. That's short, but Parker Schwartz flying in out of nowhere for the rebound. And as he went up for the follow, he was tied up by Justice Mims, and possession arrow will go to Calvin.
Nice job by Parker there, swooping in for that rebound, but he had three guys on him there. Tough to get that shot up, even as close as he was to the basket.
17 on the shot clock here for the Knights. Inbound to Wrestler. Tip pass to Overway. He's got to step easily on Newhouse and glides into the bottom of the paint for an easy bucket. What a first half so far for Jalen Overway. 14 points. 26-19 Knights. Overway avoids that foul as Cargill with a nice double clutch on the left side of the lane. Drops it through, and it's 26-21. Scott into the front court. Winkle now on the right wing. Looks for Overway underneath. So far, very little double teaming. Now they triple him, so he kicks it out to Winkle. Knights cycle it around, finds Scott on the left wing. Marcus Warman cuts him off. 7 on the shot clock. Overway way out high to Wrestler. Open three from the left wing. Got it. Luca Wrestler with a great first half. The senior, what a way to close out your home career at Van Noord. He's got 3 triples in the first half, and Calvin has expanded the lead to 8. Topside Newhouse open three. Again, the Knights will give them that all day. Long rebound, weak side to Parker Schwartz. Wrestler eyed the three from the right side. Maybe a heat check, so he thinks better of it. And Calvin works the perimeter, looking for Overway underneath. Pounded by Newhouse, no call. Winkle has it at the low right block. He'll back in on the mismatch, and he drew the foul on Avery Sanchez. Knights got what they wanted, 6'6" against 6 foot down there, and Trevin Winkle did a good job to set that up, and he'll go to the free throw line. When we come back, it's Calvin 29, Hope 21.
Whether it's a first savings account or a mortgage down the road, Lake Michigan Credit Union is there every step of the way. As a proud sponsor of Calvin Athletics, LMCU is investing in what matters: student success, strong communities, and a bright future for all. Thank you, LMCU, for helping our student athletes and our neighbors dream big and bank smart.
Well, this game, as we talked about, means a lot in the standings. Michael Faber, Calvin not looking at a chance for a league championship. They're 2 games back. Olivet and Hope tied for first. A game back is Trine. So it's a battle for the conference regular season championship today, but also for the seeding for next week's tournament.
Right. From Calvin's perspective, that's where it's going. Hope obviously battling for league title, primarily with Olivet, who was, as we mentioned earlier, playing down at Trine. So if one of them wins, one of them loses, we got an outright conference champion this year. But if they both have the same results, we're going to have a tie. And if both Hope and Olivet were to lose, we could have a 3-way tie with Trine being in there for a league championship. So number of scenarios that could play out as far as who would host the MIAA tournament, but Hope's got a couple of them that are in their favor here, regardless of their outcome, depending on what happens down in Trine.
Knights inbound it to Swartz. I had a good look on the out-of-bounds play, but had his shot swatted away. Quickly into the front court. Hovey is fouled as he probes his way to the bucket along the left side of the lane, and he'll go to the line and shoot 2. Today's game, Mike and I are looking for the player who energizes the Knights. Brought to you by Playa Bowls in Grand Rapids. Playa Bowls uses the freshest, highest quality ingredients. Playa Bowls, serving healthy, delicious acai, pitaya, coconut bowls, and smoothies. Your morning boost or your lunch break dream. Playa Bowls at Knapp's Corner. Parker Hovey back to the stripe, where he's 1 for 2, now 2 for 3 this afternoon.
That was another example on that play. Hovey, when he puts his head down, he's really hard to stay in front of, and he draws a lot of contact. So he spends a lot of time at the free throw line for sure.
Calvin shooting 60% in the first half, 41% for Hope. Jalen Overway, the big story, 14 points already, 6 for 8 from the field. Hovey got them both. It's 29-23 with 7:20 to play here in the first half. Looks like Hope's gone to a 2-3 zone against this Calvin offense, so they try to keep a better eye on Jalen Overway. Parker Swartz between the circles, choreographing the offensive attack. McElwain tries to throw it inside to Overway. Nice play by Ryan Yant to tap it away, and a turnover goes back to Hope. Just the second turnover of the game for the Knights. Hope has 5. Cargill, left wing, eyed the 3, drives on Swartz. He turned it away. Back to Sanchez. Skip pass right corner to Carter Bishop. He'll wheel on McElwain. Now leave for Yant. He drives down the lane and floated it in, and then was fouled by Zion Ruckert. So a chance for a 3-point play for Orion Yant.
Couldn't quite tell from our vantage point there, but Ruckert might have been inside the circle as he was trying to draw the charge, but might have been too close to the basket.
That's what Bill Saul's pleading as well. Yant's really come on in the last few weeks. The sophomore from Zeeland West averages almost 9 points a game, 5 rebounds a game, shooting 62% from the field. And he's got a lot of athleticism to go with that offensive production. Hope with 5 in a row. They've cut it to 3, 29-26, 6.5 to play here in the first half. Back to a man-to-man defense is Hope. Topside Swartz, he'll let fly. They got it, Parker Swartz splashes down a triple from the top of the key, and it's 32-26.
It's a beautiful sight for Calvin fans. Parker can be a little streaky, and but once the first one goes in, there's often a second. So.
Cargill with a step back behind the Yant screen on the left point, and he drills it as Wrestler got caught between the screener. And it's 32-29 as the Dutch answer. Winkle left wing. Hounded by Carter Bishop. Now they're back to that 2-3 zone. Overway out top with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Swartz left wing to Scott. He'll fire from 3. That's around and out. Overway battles for the rebound, but Yant's able to wrestle it away. And the Dutch on the move. Cargill into the lane, kicks it left side to Sanchez. Fake the 3, back to Cargill. He'll fire from top of the key. Splash it down, and we are tied at 32. Brendan Cargill with a couple of triples.
Got 13 on the game. He's been the difference maker for Hope to this point, keeping him in it.
Wrestler, or rather Winkle, has it taken away by Cargill. Down the left side, a floater along the block, and it drops through. Brendan Cargill with 8 in a row here. And Hope is on a 13 15-3 run. They now lead by 2. And Bill Saw wants to talk about this. And we'll take a quick timeout on the Calvin Sports Network.
At Calvin University, innovation powers everything we do, from the classroom to the field. It's how we learn, how we lead, and how we grow together. That's why we're proud to partner with Applied Innovation, a regional company providing practical advice and cutting-edge technology, automation and imaging to drive business forward. Thank you, Applied Innovation, for investing in the future, ours and yours.
Is brought to you by Skipper No Strength Wealth Management, partnering with you to help unlock your financial potential and build your legacy. That's Skipper No Strength Wealth Management, with one of many large groups here in attendance. And Mike, just when Calvin thought they had a grasp on this game, hope has roared back, and Brendan Cargill's been the catalyst.
He absolutely has. He's had some open looks from 3, which he's knocked down, and now he's just getting more and more confidence. He's getting aggressively taking it to the basket as well as he did on that last play.
15 points for the freshman from Grand Rapids Forest Hills Central. Jordan Scott into the front court, skip past Wrestler left corner, down low to Overway. Yance right behind him and pushed him as Jalen caught that basketball. That's the 15th foul on the Dutch. Yeah, very little double teaming, very little digging by the Hope guards on Overway. It's like Greg Mitchell here in the first half, at least, is willing to give Jalen the touches down low.
Yeah, and they have gone into a 2-3 zone, as we mentioned.
Inbounds pass to Winkle on the right block. He falls away from 10 and cashes in on that good out-of-bounds play. We're tied at 34.
I just noticed during that timeout that Winkle didn't have any points yet, so key for Calvin to get him in the rotation as well, scoring some baskets.
Senior from McBain averages 13 a game. Here's Kyle Block now in the game. Good hard attack to the basket on the left side. Couldn't finish though, and Wrestler clears for the Knights. Motors into the front court, stops at the left elbow. Open 3 in the corner for Brady Ewing, and he drains it. Ewing, who's gone from a 23% downtown shooter to 41 this year, cashes in there, and on the other end of the action continues. There's a hard drive to the bucket and a drop-off pass to Block, and resulted in Kyle Block being hammered as he elevated, and he'll go to the free throw line with his team trailing 37-34.
Pretty clear message there. No easy baskets today. Three Calvin defenders up to challenge that shot.
Block, a 6'7" sophomore from Boulder, Colorado. Saw minutes in the first game, just 5 minutes in the first game back in Holland in January. Knights won that one 80-65. Trailed actually in the first half by as many as 12. Rallied at the end of the first half to get it to a 4-point margin, and then really came on early in the second half, ended up coasting to the 15-point win. Block misses the first, second one on its way. That's too strong, and Ewing, nice box out in front of Sam Carlson for the rebound. Front court Swartz, Winkle top side for Wrestler. Rucker looking inside for Ewing. The Ant bottles him up, so the Knights cycle it back around to the right corner where Wrestler tries to drive on Cargill. He's double teamed, spins into the lane, finds a cutting Trevin Winkle to the hole, muscles up a shot and got it to go, and he drew the foul. Boy, you called it. Trevin Winkle. Knights needed to get him going, and that time it was just pure grit as he fought his way into the lane.
So we made a nice cut to the basket. Wrestler with a nice find, but then, as you said, the defense converged quickly, and he made a fantastic play to finish that shot.
3:42 to go in the first half. We'll step aside when we come back. Trevin Winkle to the free throw line. Calvin by 5, 39-34 on WXSP, and 96 won the game.
The coach just put you in the game. Everything is on the line. Are you ready? Just like a winning team needs a strategy, your finances need a game plan. At Skipper No Strength, we're your financial coaches. We strategize together, striving to adapt to every financial play. Your victories are our victories. Our goal is to help you be successful. Join the Skipper No Strength team. Your financial success is our focus.
Fans, Inside Calvin Basketball wraps up its second season this Monday, February 23rd. Join us at Big E's Sports Grill on East Beltline at 6:30 p.m. to recap today's Showdown rivalry game and preview the postseason tournament with Bill Saul and guards Luca Ressler and Zion Rucker. The show airs live on 96.1 The Game. Come on out to Big E's. Hang out with the Calvin fans for a fun basketball talk and delicious menu items, including the $10 burger and drink special. That's Inside Calvin Basketball, Monday night at 6:30 at Big E's on East Beltline. And what a blast that has been this year, Mike. Great crowd last Monday, and should be more for the season finale already this Monday night.
Absolutely. It should be a good time. We'll break down this game for sure, and interesting to see how that plays out. But then we'll also be looking ahead to the MIAA tournament. And after today, that'll become a little bit more clear who's playing who and where, but lots to talk about on Monday night.
Here's your first half stat that sort of says it all, and not surprising, 11 lead changes. 11 lead changes here in the first half. Calvin with their 6-point lead thanks to that 3-point three-point play by Winkle. Knights led by 8, 29-21. Here's an interception by Ruckert along the right sideline. He's got a 2-on-2, 4-on-2 if he hurries. He'll hold up. Swartz has it in the right corner. They find Overway down low at the right block, spins and easily lays it in for 2. Jalen unstoppable that deep. And it's an 8-point margin for Calvin. Zion Ruckert again on the defensive end, doing some great work. Werman has just been totally shut down, and Ruckert's been a big part of that. Hovey spins in the lane on Swartz, kicks it out to Newhouse, topside 3, and he splashes that one down. Simon Newhouse, he had 11 points on Wednesday in Hope's win over Albion, and that's the kind of assorted scoring they've picked up from different players this season. Winkle open at the free throw line, now thinks better of that and goes underneath to Overway. He's triple teamed. He's cuffed as he tries to get it back out to Winkle. Does now cross-court pass to Ressler. 3 on the way. His 4th triple. The senior from Catholic Central here in Grand Rapids has been on fire here in the first half. It's an 8-point game. Newhouse, left corner, spins on Overway along the baseline. Now stops at the free throw line, hits a cutting Hovey down the lane. Coming from behind to reject that one was Parker Swartz, out of bounds. Hope basketball.
Great recovery by Parker there on the defense, and getting a clean block, putting it out of bounds.
Just end-to-end action here on both sides of the court. Great defensive plays, tremendous shooting. It's been an absolute dandy first half, but should we expect anything less? I don't think so.
Go back to Ruckert on the defensive end. Werman just 0 for 3, and Zion Ruckert gets a lot of credit for that.
Hovey in the lane. Oh, went up for the shot, and then a beautiful dish on a bounce to Kyle Block for an easy lay-in. Good assist by Parker Hovey. That's what makes him one of the top assist front court players in the MIAA. Ressler at the free throw line. Right side to Swartz. Leaves to Ressler, right corner. Too strong on that triple. Weak side rebound. Grabbed by Parker Hovey. Ahead to Warman. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Knights by 6. Block top side. Hands to Newhouse, to Hovey at the free throw line. Little shake and bake on Winkle to the hole. Left the finger roll short. Ripped out of there by Winkle. Ahead to Ressler to Ruckert. Nice no look to Winkle. Trailing, and he lays it in with the left hand. Zion Ruckert again. The Colorado grad student has been prolific here in the first half. Calvin by 8. Warman bottled up in the lane. Pushes up a forced shot, and then on the rebound, Overway had it, gave it to Ressler, and then it was off the hands of Luca. It'll stay with Hope. Minute 20 to go here in the first half, 47-39. And Hope College will take a timeout. Stay tuned for today's halftime show, built by Insignia Homes and True Kitchens. We will be joined by a special guest at the latter part of halftime. That's Greg Elzinga, the president of Calvin University. He'll join us. Before that, though, spotlight on one of Calvin's outstanding alums. And Mike Lefebvre will give you the first half stats, and assess this one, and it has been a dandy here thus far. Time now for our Let It Fly stats presented by Gerald R. Ford Airport. Take a look at today's three-point shooting statistics. And Calvin shooting 45% from downtown, 5 for 11. Hope shooting 40%, 6 for 15. That's today's Let It Fly stat brought to you by Gerald R. Ford Airport, with 35 nonstop flights to great destinations across the country. Three-point shooting, Mike, I think probably has been a surprise today. I'm not sure if we thought it would be that good.
Well, both teams shooting, well above their season averages to this point. So it'll be interesting to see if they can sustain that through the second half.
Knights by 8. Hope will inbound with 80 seconds to play here in the first half. Marcus Warman, who has been held scoreless in the first half. Quarterbacks the offense. Sanchez on the curl. They get the switch. Overway's out on Sanchez. 4 on the clock. Sanchez is going to have to hurry at the right elbow. Contested shot over Schwartz. He didn't get it off. Great defense by Calvin. They force a shot clock violation with a minute to play here in the first half.
Good job by Big J coming out on the to guard the guard out there. He's it's not where Jalen's comfortable, but he knew he had to get out because Sanchez would certainly be a threat to shoot that three otherwise.
A lot of stories here in the first half. One of them is the way Marcus Warman has been held scoreless. Jordan Scott with a good take to the basket as he attacks. Couldn't hit the floater, but got his own rebound. Kicks it out to Wrestler. And he'll reset, looking for Overway underneath. Single coverage down low on block. Big fella spins right to left off the glass. No. Rebound pinball. Overway still got it at the left block. Attacks again. Pushes up the right-hander. No. And this time he drew the contact from Kyle Block, the freshman center. That's just vintage Jalen Overway working hard down in the paint.
He's a big load down there. Got a lot of guys converging on him, but he keeps the ball high and drew the foul on that one.
Marcus Warman averages 11.5 a game. 6'3" senior out of, or rather 5'11" senior from East Lansing, and he has been held scoreless today. Overway misses the first free throw. Carter Bishop will replace Block, so it's Hovey, Block, Sanchez, Warman, and Cargill as the Dutch try to get the last possession and pick up some points. 47-39. Half a minute to play here in the first half. 48-39. Jalen Overway gets his 17th point. And now shot clock differential is 2.5 seconds. Down by 9. Hovey top side. Hands to Cargill. He's got 15 here in the first half. Been a big story in the first half as well. Between the rings, Hovey. Hands to Cargill on the curl. 11 on the shot clock. Sanchez out top. Gets a step on Winkle. Nice finger roll to the lane off the glass on the left side. Got it to fall. 5 seconds to go. Ruckert races into the front court. Head to Wrestler. 2 seconds. Launches a desperation three. No. And that's the way the first half will end. 48-41. Terrific first half. Calvin on top here in this one. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, have the first half stats for you. Get Mike Lefever's assessment. It's all ahead on the halftime show today, built by Insignia Homes and True Kitchens. inside today's halftime show, beautifully built by Insignia Homes and True Kitchens. Whether your next project is an urban renewal in the city, a remodel of the family lake house, or a new country estate, the Insignia Homes and True Kitchens team is ready to bring your vision to life. Time now for the halftime stats, brought to you by Advantage Commercial Real Estate, your experienced commercial real estate advisors in West Michigan. Mike, what stands out to you as you roll through these halftime stats?
Well, as we mentioned, Bob, the three-point shooting has been both teams ahead of their season pace. Calvin 6 out of 14 for just shy of 43%, and Hope 7 out of 16 for 43. But really well played game. Calvin just with 4 turnovers, Hope with 7. And the other thing that really jumps out at me, Calvin with 16 assists, which tells me they are really moving the ball well, creating nice shots for each other, as evidenced by 48 points putting up in the first half.
If you just joined us, there has been 11 lead changes. The game has been tied 4 times, and this sellout crowd here at Van Noort Arena getting treated to a great one today. Individually, Brendan Cargill leads the way for Hope with 15. Orion Yant has 6. Parker Hovey has 5. So does Avery Sanchez. And 3 each for Carter Bishop and Simon Newhouse. Couple apiece for Jared Rigg and Kyle Block. For Calvin, Jalen Overway has paced the Knights with 17. Luca Ressler's added 4 triples for 12. Trevin Winkle's got 7. Jordan Scott has 4. Brady Ewing and Parker Swartz each have a triple, and Zion Ruckert with 2. Those are today's halftime stats, provided by Advantage Commercial Real Estate, delivering unparalleled commercial real estate services in West Michigan by leveraging the expertise of the seasoned advisors. We will step aside, and when the Insignia Homes halftime show rolls on, take you to the story of a terrific Calvin alum doing some wonderful things across America. And when we return after that, the president of Calvin, Greg Elzinga, joins us for a conversation. That's all ahead here on the Calvin Sports Network, WXSP Michigan Sports Radio, and 96.1 The Game.
The coach just put you in the game. Everything is on the line. Are you ready? Just like a winning team needs a strategy, your finances need a game plan. At Skipper and Osterink, we're your financial coaches. We strategize together, striving to adapt to every financial play. Your victories are our victories. Our goal is to help you be successful. Join the Skipper and Osterink team. Your financial success is our focus.
When I got the call from the people from the Order of Canada, from the Governor General's office, I didn't even know what to say. It's an award that's one of the highest civilian honors for Canada, and it was a big deal and mattered tremendously. And it also put a spotlight on autism in a way that hadn't been done nationally. Well, when I think back on it, about my career journey, it really started with softball. And the team had 2 women coaches who were awesome. They were women who smoked and wore lipstick and were not afraid to play good baseball. At the end of the season, they said, gather around, girls. We need people to work at a summer camp, a camp for children with disabilities. Until I worked at that camp, I'd never met a person who was autistic, and it was transformative for me. Often the field attracts people who themselves feel sometimes marginalized. So my special education experience at Calvin led me to think differently about what it meant to be a responsible citizen. Autism Ontario is just entering its 51st year. We serve over 50,000 families, and we help them to find ways to advocate and to tell the story of autism in many ways. We run programs and events that bring people together to connect on relationships. We speak with government leaders, and we talk about what autism is to the community and to speak about public awareness and acceptance. We had an opportunity to speak with government, and out of that came an advisory panel. And that only comes through hard work, real stories, and saying, okay, on this we can agree. One of the things we failed to do for many years is ask people what their experience is in being autistic. How does that feel? What are the things that are hard for you? And that affects change because people learn about people's stories and how they have more in common than different. I think very much about my mother's own faith walk and how that informed my life. My mother was about doing justice and loving mercy to every person she came in contact with. And she instilled that in myself and my siblings, and how we needed to not be afraid of difference, and that difference is actually a gift of creation. If I think about students who are coming to Calvin today, what I really recommend is get as many experiences as you can while you're here. This is one piece of time in your life, but it can be formative for many years to come.
My name is Nate Napper. I'm a 2008 graduate of Calvin University, and I'm currently a special agent with the FBI. I'm also an attorney, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Joseph Project. I'm of the opinion that there is no reason why every single human trafficking survivor in need of legal services shouldn't be given those services free of charge. And the idea was to connect them with pro bono legal help so that they could resolve that legal collateral damage and move forward into a brighter future. I've always resonated with the idea that we could be agents of renewal, right? That we could work and cooperate alongside the vision that God has for the world. If you're willing to submit to his path in obedience, dream the dreams that he would have you enact for the world, I think that you'll go places that you would never imagine going.
Having the ability to do all of my classwork online gives me the opportunity to balance both my schoolwork and football at the same time.
Even though I'm online, I have been able to build community with my professors and classmates through forums where we get to connect and talk about the work that we're doing.
So it really gives you a lot of flexibility to make sure you're doing your work and, you know, having that time to engage online and learn as much as you can.
I am a grad student at Calvin University.
Welcome back inside Van Noort Arena, where it's halftime here at Calvin University. The Knights on top 48-41, and just an absolutely delightful first half. Came into this segment with a little bit of football video in there, and it's a pleasure to be joined by a guy who knows a little bit about that, the president of Calvin University, Greg Elzinga. Greg, we'll get to that football section in a second, but I want to talk about NCAA Division III athletics. You know, around the country, you hear a lot, you read a lot about the challenges that face D1 athletics, and there's a lot of them right now.
Sure.
But then you stand here today at this Hope Calvin rivalry, and it's like D3 athletics is absolutely beautiful.
It really is. It's alive and well here, and obviously this is one of the best rivalries in NCAA Division III sports. And what you see today are two amazing institutions, great student athletes, a great fan base, alumni coming from both institutions to watch these athletes compete at a high level. And I think this exhibits the very best of what it means to be a student athlete in Division III athletics.
Really does. Let's talk a little bit about football, because that's sort of the new shiny object for Calvin athletics. Debuted 2 years ago, and last year Coach Trent Figg took the Knights to a 7-3 record. But you've got some exciting news about football beyond just what happens on the field.
We do. We really do. We just made the announcement in this last week that we are moving forward with Phase 2 for the football stadium. So Phase 1 were the turf and the lights that allowed our football team to practice there, and now we're going to be putting in the stadium seating, the press box, and we'll be able to compete down there, hopefully in the latter part of this coming fall season. So we're very excited to keep the momentum going. The Knights had a phenomenal year too. We're excited about what's to come here in this next year.
And you see on the video as well, it's lacrosse will also be a featured sport on the turf too. So can't wait for that. So much fun. Let's shift gears quite a bit here. I want to talk about the 150th anniversary of Calvin University. You have had the pleasure of really traveling around this country and really around the world, meeting folks at what we call Calvin Calvin on the Road, a celebration of the sesquicentennial. What has it meant to alumni in this greater Calvin community to celebrate 150 years?
Yeah, it's a special opportunity. I mean, not many institutions get to celebrate 150 years of serving the world through higher education. So we've had the opportunity to do these Calvin on the Road events, as you mentioned. These are really about 2-hour events. An hour is social networking, an hour is really just telling them the many ways that God's working in and through this amazing institution. We have an opportunity to reconnect with our alumni, parents of current students. Yeah, we do a little bit of reflecting on the past, but we also look ahead to this next chapter at Calvin University. And I just returned from West Africa. I have a number of events throughout the Midwest, pretty soon on the West Coast. And it's just great to reconnect with our alumni base and talk to them about this institution which shaped their lives in meaningful ways.
So many great stories from all across the globe. But then right here in West Michigan, too. Calvin University with a huge impact in so many ways.
Yeah, Calvin's been a great citizen for the West Michigan community. We have so many programs here in West Michigan. Some of these things people don't even know about. We have a program called the Wayfinder program, which is actually serving underserved communities, a lot of single mothers with a liberal arts education. We're providing child care. So we're trying to care for our community that has cared for this institution so well for so many years.
Thanks for stopping by today. Great to see you.
Thanks, Bob.
Should be a phenomenal second half. I'd take your assessment on the second half, and you wonder what Bill Saul's saying to the guys in the locker room and Greg Mitchell on the other side, but suffice to say it should be a dandy final 20 minutes.
Yes.
Stay with us. Coming up, the second half here on WXSP TV, 96.1 The Game and the Calvin Sports Network.
Whether it's a first savings account or a mortgage down the road, Lake Michigan Credit Union is there every step of the way. As a proud sponsor of Calvin Athletics, LMCU is investing in what matters: student success, strong communities, and a bright future for all. Thank you, LMCU, for helping our student athletes and our neighbors dream big and bank smart.
At Bergsma Plumbing, caring for West Michigan means more than fixing pipes. It means strengthening the community we all call home. As a family-owned business, Bergsma Plumbing values relationships. They take the time to sit down with you, explain the problem, and walk through the plan. Because informed clients make the best clients. They believe in the mission of Calvin University and proudly support the students who are shaping the future. Bergsma Plumbing, trusted service, proud partner of Calvin University Athletics.
Welcome back to Van Noord Arena on the campus of Calvin University. Bob Sack alongside former Calvin national champ Mike LeFaber. And that concludes our halftime show here today, built by Insignia Homes and True Kitchens. And Mike, what a first half, 48-41, up and down, back and forth. Just terrific defense, outstanding first half. If you're Greg Mitchell, what did you tell your Hope Flying Dutch at halftime?
Well, you can't give up 48 points again and expect to have any kind of chance to win. So I'm expecting that they're coming out with maybe a little something different on the defensive end. They can't play Jalen Overway one-on-one and give up 6 3-point shots to Calvin in the second half. So offensively, they scored 41 points. That's a really nice half. So they'll I think you're happy with what you're doing on the offensive end. You're just going to have to continue to make shots and get some stops.
And Bill Saul on the other side, got to be pleased as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for Calvin, this is what Calvin fans have been waiting for, where it's the combination of Jalen Overway and the three-pointers going in. And so it's, he's looking for more of the same, but he also doesn't like giving up 41 points in a half either. And so when you score 48, you'd like to have a bigger lead than 7. So both coaches, had plenty to talk about during the halftime for sure.
All set to go as we start the second 20 minutes. Hope with their original 5 starters in the game. And on their first possession, they go down low to Yant. Oh, nice play by Overway to avoid Yant throwing it off his legs. Steal by the big fella and wrestler into the front court. Same 5 that started the game for Calvin, with Scott, Ewing, Overway, Wrestler, and Parker Schwartz. Right side wrestler trying to get to Overway. He's fronted. Now he's doubled. Flips it top side. Around to Scott. Left wing 3. In and out. Warman clears for the Dutch. Both teams shooting well, 57% for Calvin, 50% for Hope. Warman gets a step, drives to the lane. Wrestler was there for the block, but Mims cleaned up the ball and laid it through. 48-43. First bucket of the game for Justice Mims. Free throw line Overway for Calvin. Critical first 4 minutes of the second half here as both teams try to establish footing. Wrestler at the right elbow. Back to Scott. Hide the three. Now gives to Overway. He'll try it from top side. That's off the front of the rim. Easy rebound for Parker Hovey. Hovey with 4 rebounds and 5 points. He lets the game come to him, so he'll be dangerous to watch here in the second half. Yant right side. Out of Mims. Zips the top of the key to Hovey. Warman, three-pointer on the way. Misfired. Winkle grabs the weak side rebound for Calvin. Ahead to Schwartz. Right corner, Scott. They cycle it around to Schwartz in the left corner underneath the Overway. Knocked out of bounds by Ryan Yant. It'll stay with Calvin. Much slower start in terms of scoring for the first 2 minutes of the second half compared to that frenetic first half start.
Yeah, both teams just playing a straight up man-to-man defense, and Yant and Overway are having a wrestling match down below for positioning.
Yant gives up 3-4 inches, but he's got some hops, and he's shown it here today. Overway feeds Winkle underneath, gets Hovey up in the air. Great defense by Hovey, but Winkle was still able to muscle it in over him. 9 points for Trevin Winkle, and Calvin's lead is back to 7, 50-43. Hovey left side, isolated on Schwartz. They clear out for him, backs in, now kicks it to Yan. His top side three just grazes the net, and that'll send this massive Calvin student section into a chorus after the Orion Yant misfire. Little full court pressure shown by Hope right now. Wrestler uses the Overway screen, dribbles across the timeline, stops and leaves for Overway. Here's a two-man screen and roll game as Wrestler tried to bounce it to a cutting Overway, and the ball skittered out of bounds. Turnover back to Hope.
Good idea there, but tough angle for that pass. And Overway, you don't want to have your big man have to reach down to his ankles to pick it up.
Calvin came into this game -2 per game in the turnover margin. Conversely, Hope in the turnover margin was +2. Hope first in the league, Calvin near the bottom. So far today, as Parker Hovey powers his way up for 2. So far today, it's Calvin that's turned the ball over just 4 times, and Hope's turned it over 7. 50-45. Calvin's lead trimmed to 5 again. Overway, low mid-post. Spins on Yant. Now he's doubled down low. Triple fakes. Couldn't get it to go as he left it short. Hovey clears, races into the front court. Stops at the right elbow. Back to Warman. To Yant. Now finds Cargill underneath on a good alley-oop, but the freshman from Forest Hill Central could not finish. Calvin back the other way. Scott along the right baseline, turned away by Warman, and then bumped as he starts to attack at the free throw line. Foul on Warman, that is his first. You said it earlier too. Really a pretty well played game. Not many fouls, and sometimes there aren't fouls, Mike, because the official they don't call it. But right. I thought both defenses today have really played well. They've guarded their yard. They've kept their hands at bay. And here's a turnover. Jared Rigg on the run out with a circus layup over Wrestler at the goal, and it's 50-47. Mistake there by the Knights results in a 2-point fast break. Zion Rucker back into the game. He drives down the right side, has it swatted away by Hovey, but gets it back. And Calvin will reset out front. Rucker left wing, 3-ball on the way, rattles home. Zion Rucker with his 8th point.
There's that guy again making it happen. He a good drive to the basket, but a really good block by Hovey, and now they force a turnover.
A senior grad transfer from Colorado. Got his family in town as well, and he has been so good today. 15:53 to go. Calvin on top by 6. We'll step aside when we come back. The Knights back to work on offense on WXSP 96.1 The Game, Michigan Sports Radio, and the Calvin Sports Network.
For many, Calvin represents more than a campus. It's a place that shaped values, friendships, and a lifelong sense of community. At Holland Home, that spirit carries on, welcoming residents with a range of backgrounds, including those who once called Calvin home. With a culture built on caring, community, and connection, Holland Home provides a vibrant, active lifestyle where residents come together to connect, engage, and celebrate together.
Time now for This Month in Calvin Sports History, presented by Applied Innovation. Today we highlight the record performance by Steve Honderd in a Calvin men's basketball victory over Kalamazoo College back on February 20th, 1993. See Honderd pictured on your screen if you're watching at home. In that contest, Honderd scored a Calvin and MIAA single game record 61 points to lead Calvin to a 96-90 overtime victory that secured the MIAA regular season title for the Knights. Connected on 20 of 28 field goal attempts in the win, 17 of 21 at the free throw line. What a day for Steve Honderd. What a career. That's This Month in Calvin Sports History, presented by Applied Innovation, connecting Calvin alums for 36 years. And Mike, they honored him in the first half.
Absolutely. First time out, Steve was recognized. He was inducted in the Small College Hall of Fame down in Florida back in the fall. And I had the privilege of being there representing Calvin and supporting my friend Steve. And it was a special time and a well-deserved honor for Steve Honderd.
Out of the timeout, good play drawn up as Winkle had space down the right side of the lane. He got downhill, and as he elevated, he drew the foul from Sean Wesselink, and that'll send the 88% free throw shooter to the free throw line for 2 shots. You know, we think back to last Saturday's win for Calvin, Mike, over Trine, and it was a game where multiple guys were in double figures, and that happened at Hope too, when Calvin beat the Dutch 80-65 in January. Kind of see that developing again. Pretty good balance today from Calvin's scoring attack.
Yeah, Calvin got seven players already in the scoring column. Wrestlers having a big game, but Winkle now in double figures as well, and you know, Ruckert impacting the game in so many ways. And so yeah, it's a big Jalen Overway night, but it's a whole team event for sure for Calvin today.
Marcus Warman gets to his favorite spot on the floor. That's that left elbow. Skies for a 15-footer that splashes through, and it's a 6-point game again, 55-49. Biggest lead in the game has been 8 by the Calvin Knights. Here's Wrestler splitting a couple of defenders, but as he got to the cup, Hovey tipped the finger roll, and back the other way come the Dutch. Warman with a hard drive to the basket. Couldn't finish. Rebound controlled by Winkle, and then he fell over Warman, and that'll be a foul, unfortunately, on Warman. Just kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time after a attack to the bucket. We really haven't seen Marcus Warman get downhill much today. That's a big part of this offense, and he's had some good games against Calvin over the years, but he's had some games where he's really been corralled, and kind of feels like that today.
Yeah. Well, Calvin, between Jordan Brink and Ruckert, have 2 very quick guys that can stick with him from a quickness standpoint. Scott, of course, has the added benefit of being 6'5".
Scott breaks the press all the way to the bucket, and as he laid it off the glass, Hovey skied to block it, and the ball had already hit the backboard, so a goaltending call on Parker Hovey. Boy, for a guy 6'5", Hovey really has the ability to alter shots, and block shots.
He not only the 6'5" and the jumping ability, but he's got great timing as well. He timed those, obviously just a second late there on that one, but he's challenged a few shots already here in the second half.
Back to an 8-point lead with 14:40 to go here in the second half. Westlake hands to Avery Sanchez. Works the left baseline, spins into the lane on Scott. Now wheels it right side to Rigg. Hovey trying to get free on the right wing. Calvin just will not let him, and Rigg then drives to the lane, fouled by Ruckert. It will be number 3 on Zion Ruckert.
One of those plays there where it's too bad that he reached in, because the offensive player was not really in a position to do anything there, and he kind of bailed him out.
Justice Mims, the senior from Rochester Hills, inbounds to Hovey. He drives, nice bounce pass to Sean Wesselink. And as Hovey took a spill, Wesselink flushed it home for the easy dunk. That's Parker Hovey, boy, he does it on both ends, doesn't he? Just defensively, altering shots on the offensive end, finding open teammates. Whistle here and a timeout. Calvin's gonna take a timeout. It's a full one. Will step aside. Knights on up top by 6. 14-15 to go in the second half.
Big E's Sports Grill, your next destination for any occasion.
With incredible entertainment and amazing food that makes you want to come back for more.
Where family memories are made.
Where sports are enjoyed and friends gather.
Cheers to good times, great friends, and a place where the game is always on. Only at Big E's.
The Calvin Knights with a 57-51 lead over the Hope Flying Dutchman here with 14-15 to go. If you just joined us, pretty typical game, Mike Lefebvre, in this rivalry. Lead changes, runs, great defensive stands, and just all-out effort by everybody on the floor.
It's what this game brings out of these guys, right? Like I said in the pregame, this is the game you circle on your calendars. This is the game you remember for many years after you're done playing, and so they're going to lay it all out here today. Bob, I want to shout out to a couple more friends watching us from around the country in Redlands, California, Linden, Washington, Denver, Colorado, Whitensville, Massachusetts. A lot of Calvin and Hope fans all over the country.
Up by 6, Jordan Scott wheels on the right wing, tries to get it into Overway, knocked away nicely, but regaining control is Scott. Down to Overway, backs in on Wesselek. Ball's loose on the floor. Mims pokes it away and into the hands of Wesselek for the Dutchman. Into the front court, Sanchez. He'll reset between the rings. Simon Newhouse also into the game, along with Mims. Underneath, Sanchez finds daylight off the glass from the right block, and it's a 4-point game. Avery Sanchez with his 7th point. Calvin back to work on offense. Overweight down low at the right block, double team, finds an open JT McElwain, top side, rattles it home. Good look from Jalen Overway. McElwain off the bench contributes to that balanced scoring. Sophomore from Hamilton with his first bucket of the game. Wesselek hands to Sanchez, probes that left side, back to Wesselek. He'll try from downtown, and that splashes through. Sean Wesselek with his first 3-ball of the day. Hit a long one in the first half. It was just inside the line. Freshman from Bay City, John Glenn, showing he can step out. Calvin finds Overway, double team down at the right block, spins on Newhouse and Wesselek, and just powers it up between them for 2 more. That was a pretty good double team from 2 big fellas. It didn't matter.
Really was. Great patience by Jalen, and then he split it eventually, mostly just with strength.
61-56. Knights with a 5-point lead over the Dutchman. Driving along the left baseline as Bishop up and under on Ressler. Got it to go off the glass, and Ressler committed the foul. 3-point opportunity for Carter Bishop. Bishop had a 3-point play earlier in the game and does it here again. Just sophomore from Holt. Averages a couple points a game, and that's the kind of contributions that Greg Mitchell's been able to get over these last few weeks in the MIAA season. Different guys stepping up each and every game. Bishop makes it a 2-point game. Hope full court press, Overway across the timeline. Will leave for Ressler, and Calvin will set up inside of 12 to go. Down low to Overway. He's held by Wesselek. That is just the 4th team foul on Hope, but that'll take us to the under 12 timeout. It's a dandy. Calvin 61, Hope 59. Back after this.
Having the ability to do all of my classwork online gives me the opportunity to balance both my schoolwork and football at the same time.
Even though I'm online, I have been able to build community with my professors and classmates through forums where we get to connect and talk about the work that we're doing.
So it really gives you a lot of flexibility to make sure you're doing your work and, you know, having that time to engage online and learn as much as you can.
I am a grad student at Calvin University.
Fans, today's Calvin Women's Sports Report is presented by Lake Michigan Credit Union. Last weekend at the Grand Valley State University Big Meet, Calvin senior Sophie Bull shattered the Calvin women's indoor track and field record in the 3,000-meter run, clocking in with a time of 9:36.95 that ranks 7th nationally. The following afternoon, she was part of a Calvin distance medley relay team that posted a time of 11:59 that ranks 6th nationally. That's today's Calvin Women's Sports Report, brought to you by Lake Michigan Credit Union, where our members earn more when they save and play less when they borrow. Sophie Bull, a national champion from last year, picking up right where she left off.
I mentioned our friends from Denver, Colorado. Sophie, a Denver Christian High School graduate, and racking up the accolades here in her time at Calvin for sure.
Shooting percentages still pretty good. Calvin shooting 50%. Hope shooting 57%. That's a reversal of where we were at halftime. That's why this lead has been trimmed from 7 at halftime to 2 here, nearing the midway point of the second half. Overway finds a wide open wrestler underneath. He faked, and as Yant came over to block the shot, the ball fake got Bishop up in the air, and wrestler drew the foul. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Again, good patience, Mike, by Jalen Overway to find the open teammate. That's been so impressive about him this year. One of the big areas of growth, I think, just the patience to make his move offensively or find the open teammate.
Yeah, the instinct as a player, when you draw as much attention as Jalen does, is you want to make your move quick, or you want to get rid of the ball quick, and he's just really thoughtful and deliberate with the ball. And Luka was the beneficiary of it there, and a nice pass and a nice up fake by Luka, and now he's made the first free throw.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Skipper No Strength Wealth Management, providing personal financial strategies tailored to meet your goals and lifestyles. Wrestler splits the pair, leaves the score at 62-59 with 11:45 to play here in the second half. Hope motors into the front court, driving to the lane is Bishop, and he's been effective here in this second half. He'll call the foul on the floor. That'll go on Overway, I think. First? Second, rather. It is on, no, check that. It was on Wrestler, his second. Newhouse, top of the key, leaves for Sanchez. Pull up from the free throw line. No, battle for the rebound. Nice save by Wrestler. Head to Ruckert on the run out. Down to Swartz, flying down the left side. And as he skies to jam it home, he drew contact from Yant. Heavy contact, and that'll send Parker Swartz to the free throw line. Good fast break offense there, started by Luka Wrestler's hustle on the defensive end.
Yeah, fantastic play by Luka there to get it started, and a good job finding Parker Swartz up ahead. Yant, I think, got a lot of ball up top, but there was a lot of body down below. So
talk about just how close this series is. We mentioned they've played 217 times, 16 points separate them in total scoring. How about this? Both teams have won 12 games at Van Noort Arena, and both teams have won 6 games and 12 overtime games. It's just the tightness just carries through so many statistics. We'll take a timeout. The officials are going to review this one. They're looking for a possible flagrant foul on Newhouse, I believe,
on
for
the
Hope.
previous play down on the other end of the court, yeah.
Before the foul on Swartz. So we'll step aside and let the officials sort this one out. Tell you what happens when we come back. 11.5 to go. Calvin up by 3 over the Dutchman.
Join the next generation of global business leaders at Calvin University School of Business, offering 8 undergraduate majors and 2 master's degrees, and exceptional faculty with real-world experience who will partner with you and guide you along the way, and opportunities to participate in internships, study abroad programs, and hands-on learning experiences. This is Calvin University School of Business. Your future begins here.
Bob Sack, along with former Calvin national champ Mike Lefebvre, will get our ruling here. And no flagrant foul on that previous play. Didn't seem like there was anything of great significance there. Mike, you know, it's interesting. The last 2 games, Hope has really surged in the second half. Wednesday night at Albion, and then last week at Olivet, they found themselves down and really put together a couple of good second halves. Greg Mitchell just talking about how resilient and gritty his team is, and you can kind of feel that here in the second half today. Down by 7 at half and down most of the first half. Hope just keeps coming.
They do, yep. And Calvin just with a 3-point lead now with Schwartz at the line, but it feels like one of those games that's just going to come down to the final minutes, and we'll see what team can execute down the stretch.
But a lot more points. Last year's tournament final here at Van Noord was 62-59. Calvin winning that. It was 62-59 with 11.5 to go in this game. That's the kind of offense we've seen tonight. Really a well-played game. That's sometimes when there's games are so intense that they bog down with defensive intensity and pressure. Swartz hits both free throws, but not this one. It's been a terrific offensive show by both teams, yet very effective defense as well. Calvin by 5 as we approach the 11-minute mark. Hope with Cargill, Newhouse, Bishop, Weselick, and Sanchez. It's a little smaller lineup in there. Underneath it goes to Bishop on a good pass from Weselick. And he was pushed as he went to grab that ball. We go on Winkle. And that's Trevin's second. 4th team foul on Calvin. Hope has 6, so the Knights are in the bonus. Hope will inbound it underneath.
I don't know if it's a conscious decision by the officials, but certainly more fouls here in the second half, whether they're trying to clean things up a little bit or what. But yeah, we're going to be shooting more free throws here in the second half than we did in the first.
Dutchman inbound it. Newhouse hands the right point to Sanchez. It'll pick and roll back to Newhouse. Elevates off the glass. The right block was fouled by Ressler on the up. And it'll be a couple of free throws coming up for Simon Newhouse.
And that's 3 fouls on Luca Ressler, who's obviously been a big part of the game here for Calvin. We'll see if Coach Saul is going to leave him out there or if he's going to give him a breather.
Newhouse is 70% shooter from the line. Swishes that one. Calvin 6 of 7, rather 8 of 9 from the line today. Hope 8 of 11. Newhouse's second free throw skims out into the hands of Brady Ewing. And his pass to Ressler's intercepted by Cargill, who drives to the lane, couldn't finish. Ball's tipped around. Cargill missed the follow. Loose on the floor. Jordan Scott comes away, and Calvin dodged a bullet there as Carter Bishop fouls Jordan Scott on the run out. Great play by Brendan Cargill to kind of step in front of that pass, much like a cornerback would do on an out route in football. And unfortunately for him, he missed the original layup and then couldn't hit the tip either. And it turns out that Scott comes away with a rebound, and then he gets fouled.
Coach Saul was telling Trevin Winkle in no uncertain terms that was a bad pass, and Trevin said, "I know, Coach, I know, I got you." So things are getting heated here, you know, as the pressure ramps up a bit.
Jordan Scott hits the first free throw. 71% shooter. Comes into the game averaging 8.1 points. Missed 7 games this year and just returned last Saturday or rather 2 weeks ago against Olivet. Got 14 minutes, and then last Saturday played 23 against Trine, starting to round back into basketball shape. Such a vital cog for this team. Got them both 66-60, 10.5 to play. Parker Hovey back in the lineup for Hope. Sanchez on a curl, leaves for Westlake, who dumps it right back to Sanchez at the right point. Westlake kicks it out to Hovey, top side, spins on Ewing, dishes to Westlake, jams it home. Whistle and a foul. Is this a block or a charge? Pretty big call as we await the official's call. And it is good. They'll count the basket by Westlake. The foul goes on Overway. Jalen's slow to get up. Hovey's slow to get up. And Westlake has a chance for a three-point. That's Parker Hovey again, manufacturing great looks for his teammates. And I don't know, Mike, I think waving that field goal off, I was saying the foul was...
They had first said it was good. I'm not quite sure. Coach Saul's asking a lot of the same questions right now. They must have said it was on the pass. The bucket's not good. It's
Overway's second foul. Inbounds pass to Hovey. Left elbow spins in the lane on Winkle. Baxton now falls away from the right elbow. Misfires. Overway with the rebound. Boy, Pope's really pressuring the outlet pass, trying to slow down that Calvin fast break, and it's been effective. Wrestler sets up the offense. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Inside of 10 minutes to play in the second half. Jordan Scott, right wing. It's the switch, has Westlake now, and Sanchez guarding Overway. Calvin looking for him, but now Westlake recovers to get in front of the big fella. Wrestler, right elbow, behind the back. Nice pass underneath to Trevin Winkle, and he lays it in for two. Luca Wrestler with some good ball handling and a beautiful dish. 68-62, 9.5 to play. Open three from the left wing is Sanchez, and he splashes it home. Avery Sanchez continuing to have effective minutes off the bench. Scott, top side, now flips to Wrestler. Arcs a three-pointer from the right wing, and it's 71-65. Hovey, top of the key. Now to Sanchez, drives along the right baseline. Pump fake, leaves for Westlake, has it stripped beautifully by Calvin. Wrestler on the run out, ahead to Winkle, 3-on-2 all the way to the hole. Winkle lays it off the glass and in, and Greg Mitchell wants a timeout as Calvin expands their lead back to 8 with some great defense and a beautiful transition offense. Listen to this crowd as the Knights doing it on both ends. Again, some terrific defense has started that fast break. We'll take a break. Calvin by 9.
Where will the next revolutionary idea come from? That next breakthrough in scientific research? At Calvin University, you can dream bigger, think deeper, aim higher. Our world-class faculty push students to keep asking hard questions and never settle for the status quo. Become part of a university that challenges students to go beyond as Christ's agents of renewal in the world. Calvin University, go beyond.
A back and forth second half. And we're almost right back to where we started the second half. Calvin led by 7 at the break. The lead had grown to 8, cut all the way down to 2 at times by the Dutchman. But Calvin has spurted here in the last minute thanks to a Luca Wrestler 3. Good defense on the other end by Wrestler. And the run out resulting in a Trevin Winkle layup, and the Knights lead 73-65. Greg Mitchell in his 12th year at Hope, 1989 Hope grad. How about two coaches that really were stalwarts for their alma mater in their playing days? Absolutely. Mitchell, a great three-point shooter. still holds the all-time record at Hope for three-point percentage. And, of course, we all know the All-American status of Bill Saul for Calvin.
And they played multiple games against each other as players back in the day. Coach Saul, a 1990 grad of Calvin, and Coach Mitchell, a 1989 grad of Hope.
Calvin coming off 3 consecutive regular season MIAA titles. They will not get one this year. It's either going to be Hope or Olivet or both. We'll keep you posted on that Olivet Trine game that's tight heading into the final 8 minutes as well. Here's a steal. Winkle took it away from Hovey. All the way to the hole against Yant. Lays it up and in and drew the foul. Trevin Winkle with a great defensive play and then a circus layup on the other end. And Calvin has stretched the lead to 10 with a chance to take it to 11. Well, you said it, Mike, several minutes ago, really early in the first half. Trevin Winkle started the game fairly quiet, scoreless for a long time. Boy, has he emerged now with 17 and doing it on both ends.
It really is. Trevin does do it on both ends. He fills the stat sheet kind of guy, too, with rebounding and some assists and creating plays for others. But he's a big part of whatever's going on when Calvin's playing well. And they needed a good second half from him, and so far he's showing up.
Winkle averages 13 points a game. He's got that and then some today. 18 points for the senior from McBain. 87% free throw shooter adds to that. He had that great game against Kalamazoo a couple weeks ago. 7 for 10 from 3. Career high 21. Showing today he can do it inside as well as outside. Knights by 11. Orman spins in the lane, and he is stripped by Zion Ruckert. Another steal for Ruckert. Ahead to Winkle, and he'll slow it up with Ruckert out top. Ruckert now with 4 steals in this game. Down low to Winkle. He's got a mismatch against Cargill. He'll drive to the right elbow. Now step back for a long 2. Graze the front of the rim into the hands of Hovey. 8 to go. Knights by 11. Cargill probes at the free throw line. Crosses over on Swartz. Parker cuts him off, and they'll reset with Sanchez out top. High ball screen from Hovey. Sanchez finds daylight down the left side, and the wrestler comes over to swat away the jump shot. Saves it right to Warman, who gives it to Hovey down the lane. He skies for 2 off the glass. No, but he was fouled by Brady Ewing. Wrestler made a great defensive play. Unfortunately, saved it right to the Hope player. And that brings us to the under 8 timeout. Calvin 76, Hope 65. Back after this on the Calvin Sports Network, WXSP.
Calvin showed me the importance of a family-like community. I saw this sort of community present in both my academics and in my athletics. On the field, my lacrosse team took Proverbs 27:17 to heart. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Saying Calvin became my home away from home does not do the place justice. The relationships I made in my time here and the spaces I've grown familiar and fond of have truly made Calvin my home. Calvin University, go beyond.
Well, these 2 old rivals have been battling for 106 years on the basketball court. Think about it. The NCAA has been playing basketball for about 120 years, and Calvin and Hope have been there virtually the whole time. 217 games in the books, just 16 points separating the two in all-time scoring totals. Great moments in the history of this game, a rivalry that over the years has caught the attention of the New York Times, and ESPN even called it one of the greatest rivalries in college basketball at any level. How about 1996? They played in front of 11,000 fans at Van Andel Arena. Mike, what's your top memories for this storied rivalry?
Well, that's certainly one of them. That was quite a day at Van Andel Arena with that many people filling up that place. Of course, a lot of my memories are the ones I was involved in. Those are a little hard to top when you actually got to play in it. But yeah, back in the early 90s, we had multiple years in a row where Calvin and Hope would face each other in the national tournament, usually the second round of the national tournament, and those were certainly memorable.
Since Calvin joined the MIAA some 72 years ago, 68 out of the 72 years the regular season has been won or shared by one of these teams.
Yep.
And that trend will see another chapter here today. 2 free throws good by Parker Hovey. It's 76-67. 7.5 to play. Nice two-man pick and roll down to Overway, and he flushes it home. Luca Ressler, who has just had a brilliant game today, fed him beautifully for 2 more. Ressler now with 8 assists to go along with his 16 points. Open 3 from Wesselink, and he arcs a beautiful rainbow through, and it's 78-70. Ruckert into the front court, hounded by Warman. Boy, he's been so quiet today offensively, has been Warman. So is Justice Mims. He's in there with Wesselink, Hovey, and Brendan Cargill. Into the lane, backs Overway, skip past Schwartz, now right point. Ruckert fakes and drives, leads to Overway at the free throw line, spins in the lane, muscles up a floater and drew contact. He split that defensive effort of Wesselink and Hovey, and the foul will go on Wesselink. That is his, because that is 5th.
I don't see anybody leaving, so I don't think so.
Should be his 4th.
Yep. It's 4th.
Wesselink. Lauk. Been part of that task of trying to corral Jalen Overway today. It's been tough stuff with every team. Overway now 8 of 13 from the field, 4 of 5 from the line. He has 20 points to lead all scores. How about Cargill at 15 at the break? He's been quiet since. Jalen rims out the second free throw. The lead stays at 9 with 6:40 to go. Calvin has not trailed in this game since early in the first half. Parker Hovey gets a step on Parker Schwartz. Knifes to the lane. Skies for the easy finger roll. 79-72. 6:20 to go. Schwartz into the front court. Hands to Ressler. Cycles around at the left elbow. Finds Ruckert in the left corner. They get Overway. He's doubled, so he kicks it out to Schwartz. 3-ball. Drops through. Parker Schwartz makes it a 10-point game, and a good look from Jalen Overway. That's 5 assists for Overway. He's been so effective from that low post spot. Cargill splits the defenders. Overway and Ressler. Stops at the mid-post line. Kicks it back out to Warman. His 3-ball's too strong. Rebound battled for on the floor. Comes back to Warman. He'll reset with Justice Mims. Wesselink will take a 3 from the top side. That's good again. Sean Wesselink, the freshman from Bay City, John Glenn, hits another from deep, and it's a 7-point game. 5.5 to go. Ressler spins away from Cargill into the front court, all the way to the hole, kicks it left corner to Winkle, way short, but Overway's there to follow up. His shot is blocked by Hovey, and they'll call the foul on Parker Hovey. That's just his second. Calvin got a break there when that 3-pointer by Winkle was airballed short, but Overway knew where it was going, and he had a beat on it and corralled it. So for Hope, Yant has 4 fouls. So does Wesselink. Yant will check back in. Calvin with only Ressler, Ruckert, and Ewing with 3. So foul trouble weighs in favor of Calvin as 2 inside guys each have 4, and that's, again, not uncommon when you're battling Jalen Overway all afternoon.
Big J has now surpassed his age. It's his 22nd birthday today. So
2 for 4 on the free throws, but the long rebound comes out to Winkle. Ressler tries to gun it down low to Overway. A bit far from him, but he recovers and then battles a shot up against Hovey. Left it short, hit the bottom of the rim. Mims controls. Fast break, nice bounce to Wesselink on the run out. Rim running effective by Wesselink, but he couldn't finish with a finger roll. Scott back the other way. Races into the front court. Floater from the paint, no. Mims has got it again, and it's a 1-on-4, and he'll slow it up with 4:50 to go, down by 8. Mims trapped along the right baseline by Winkle. Finds Hovey at the right elbow. Back to Avery Sanchez between the rings to reset for Hope. 15 on the shot clock. Westlake eyed the 3. Now drives on Overweight, kicks it back to Hovey. Right point. Nice wall-off defense on the right baseline by Swartz. Fall away by Hovey is short. Winkle with a good block out on Mims, and as he did, Justice Mims hammered him on the arm, and that'll send Trevin Winkle to the free throw line as Calvin is now in the double bonus.
Almost 4.5 minutes to go. That's not obviously a foul to stop the clock yet at this point for Hope, but that's not what they want to do, is put Trevin Winkle at the line. That's nearly a 90% free throw shooter.
He has been effective there today. Hate to throw the jinx at him, Mike, but he's 4 for 4. Knew that was going to happen.
You think we'd learn?
That's right. I think we're about 5 for 5 this year on reference to a 88% free throw shooter, followed by a miss. Knights by 8, 83-75, 4:25 to play in the second half. Winkle, one of 5 seniors today honored by Calvin here on Senior Day. Hits the second, 9-point margin. Knights have won 4 in a row, gunning for 5 in a row over Hope. Bill Saul 8-8 against Hope. Greg Mitchell 13-16 against Calvin in his coaching career. Hope left wing Sanchez tries to beat Scott to the baseline. Jordan recovers, hits a cutting Orion Yin on a great slide by Yin into the lane, and Sanchez found him. Back to a 7-point game with 4 to play. Scott, watched by Sanchez, crossover dribble, takes it all the way to the bucket, off the glass with the left hand, and he drops it through. Jordan Scott with a pretty move. So he attacked the basket, got downhill, and kissed it off. Yant, left wing to Westlake out high. He'll reset with Warman. Warman uses the high ball screen, probes his way down the lane, left-handed shot off the glass, in, and he was fouled. And he will shoot a free throw with a chance for a 3-point play when we come back. 86-79. 3 minutes, 33 seconds to play. The Rivalry edition 218. All we expected here today from Calvin.
What I've learned in my 4 years at Calvin University is that believing in yourself means a lot. In your job, in your church, on your team. That belief that you have is what's going to motivate you to become the best you that you can be.
There's a goal for Josh Boyer.
A lot of the guys on the team, they saw me as a leader. I can use those abilities that I learned on the field. I can use them off the field in the classroom, because that's what's going to make the difference in the world after you graduate.
Calvin University Athletics offers summer sports camps in 15 different sports for kids in elementary school through high school. Visit calvinknights.com for a complete list of camps. Calvin Summer Sports Camps are sponsored by Power Strength Training Systems with 6 locations throughout West Michigan. With specialized training programs for high school and college athletes, plus customized training for adults over 40, Power Strength Training Systems is West Michigan's comprehensive athletic training center. Check them out today at powerstrengthpro.com. 86-79. Calvin on top of the Dutchman here. Calvin with 18 fouls. Hope has 10, so Calvin will be in the double bonus. Hope sends Warman to the line with a chance to make a 3-point play. Warman fairly well contained today. He has just 4 points, 2 for 10, Mike, from the field. And we saw him, he's 3 for 14 and 4 for 13 in the last 2 games against Calvin. Bill Saul's defense, as Warman hits the 3-point play, has really figured out how to sort of cut off the head of the snake of this offense.
Yep, absolutely. And Zion Ruckert and Jordan Scott have both done a really nice job on him today, too.
Jordan Scott beats the heavy press from Warman into the front court. Overway at the right elbow. Back to Ruckert at the right point. Zips it right down low to the right block to Overway. He's got single coverage with Yant. Now the double comes. Left-handed. Up and in. Jalen Overway got deep right where he wanted to. Flipped it home for 2 more. 25 for the big fella. He has hit his average today. Hovey, right elbow. Spins on Swartz. Cuts him off. Hovey's able to elevate. Swartz drew the foul, and Hovey will go to the free throw line. He's got 11, Mike, but he's 3 for 9 from the field. Most of his hay's been made from the line, where he's 5 from 6. Give Parker Swartz credit. He's been the guy charged with stopping one of the MIAA's best scorers, and Swartz has done a pretty good job.
Yeah, he really has. As we talked about earlier, Parker is really difficult to guard because he goes very aggressively to the basket, whether he's driving from the top of the key and making a play or doing a little bit of a back and forth, backing his guy down. He's difficult to stay in front of, and certainly Parker Swartz has done a nice job today.
Absolutely loves to get downhill. Got both free throws. Weselick will replace Ryan Yant. Maybe a little position platoon basketball here. They want Weselick on the defensive end. Both Yant and Weselick have 4 fouls, and those are the guys responsible for containing Overway. And Calvin's going right back down to him at the right block. Inside of 3 minutes to go, Overway backs his man down. Patiently goes up with the left hand, left it a little short. Brendan Cargill has the rebound for Hope with 2:35 to go. Dutchman down by 6. Right side, Warman drives on Ruckert. Down the right side, Circus shot, around and out, no, but there's Hovey with the rebound, and Swartz slapped it away out of bounds on the follow-up. Parker Swartz with a great defensive play to keep this a 6-point game. Calvin now with Overway, Winkle, Swartz, Ruckert, and Ressler in the lineup. Inbounds pass, knocked out of bounds, will stay with Hope. Dutchmen have Warman, Cargill, Weselick, Hovey, and Sanchez. 2:25 to go. Possession arrow belongs to the Knights. Inbounds pass comes down low to Cargill. He gets Ressler up in the air. Couldn't hit the double pump, but did draw the foul on Luka. And that'll send Brendan Cargill to the line. Good pump fakes. Such a disciplined task if you're a defender not to buy those fakes, isn't it?
Yep. Coach Saul yelling to stay down, but that's difficult when a guy gives you a good up fake like that. You don't want to let him go up easy. So
Cargill just 5'10", 185 pounds. Got a brother that's outstanding inside linebacker at Kalamazoo College. Cargill prepped at Forest Hill Central, where Hope assistant coach Ken George coached for many years.
Yeah, very successful years there for Ken George.
Cargill's got the first free throw, cuts the lead to 5. Second one on its way. That's good. 4-point game. 2:20 to go. Full court pressure from Hope. Now they relax it a bit as Winkle sends it to Ressler, and he'll cross the timeline. Hounded by Warman. Left point to Winkle. Now in the lane to Rucker, or rather Ressler, down low to Overway. He skies for the Glasser off the right block. Good find again by Luka Ressler. That is his 9th assist to go along with 16 points. 90-84. We're inside of 2 minutes. Left point Cargill. Up top to Hovey. Trying to find Warman. Now they go backdoor to Mims. Easy layup. Good play, and he beat his man, and the bucket goes, and Greg Mitchell will call a timeout. He has now just 1 left. We'll take one as well. 1:41 to go. Calvin by 4.
Join the next generation of global business leaders at Calvin University School of Business, offering 8 undergraduate majors and 2 master's degrees, and exceptional faculty with real-world experience who will partner with you and guide you along the way, and opportunities to participate in internships, study abroad programs, and hands-on learning experiences. This is Calvin University School of Business. Your future begins here.
The sellout crowd enjoying Another classic between these two teams. Mike Lefebvre, a 4-point game. Calvin on top. If you're Bill Saul, what did you tell the Knights in the huddle?
Well, Coach Saul very frustrated with that defense. They let Mims get a backdoor cut and have a very easy layup, which you don't want to let that happen anytime in the game, but especially not in the last 2 minutes here. So he wants them to make sure you can't make mistakes at this. You need to execute both on the offensive end and the defensive end.
Against the press, Knights get into Jordan Scott, back to Wrestler, and he motors into the front court. Break that press. 90 seconds to go. Scott dumps it down to Overway, left block. Muscles his way up, no, got his own rebound, knocked out of bounds by Weselick. It'll stay with Calvin. They got the look they wanted. Jalen Overway, 9 for 16, just about at his season average in field goal percentage. Yant checks back in for Weselick. Ball out of bounds underneath. Wrestler inbounds to Overway, 20 on the shot clock. Overway backs Yant down, double team, now kicks it out to Wrestler, right point. Watched by Cargill, 10 on the shot clock, uses the Overway screen, left corner to Swartz, spins in the lane with 5 on the clock, knocked away by Cargill, and Hope forces a big turnover there with 65 seconds to play. Calvin nursing a 4-point lead. They have not trailed since midway through the first half. Sims, left point. Now to Hovey, down low. It's taken away on a great steal by Luca Wrestler. Ahead to Swartz, to Overway on the run out. And he is hacked from behind by Cargill, and that'll send Jalen Overway to the line for a couple of free throws. What a great defensive play by Luca Wrestler. Just a complete game for him today. That is his 3rd steal to go along with 9 assists.
Great play by Luca. Jalen a little bit lucky there because I don't think he even realized Cargill was behind him there, but fortunately got hit across the wrist and the referee saw it.
2 huge free throws for Overway. First one too strong off the flange. He'll get another one. Calvin now with Scott, Wrestler, Overway, Swartz, and Winkle. That's the 5 to start of the game. A lot of substitutions for Hope. They have Cargill, Hovey, Weselick, Warman, and Sanchez. Calvin with 2 timeouts left, Hope with 1. 48 seconds to play. Overway's second free throw is good. 91-86. Warman into the front court, bounces right side to Hovey. Weselick, top of the key, back to Hovey, right point. Step back 3, no, stops, and now gives to Cargill. Cargill trying to find daylight for a 3, does from the top of the key, too strong. Rebound tapped out to Jordan Scott. To Wrestler with 30 seconds to go, and the foul before the pass on Winkle. Great job by that defensive scheme of Calvin. Really shut off the Hovey 3 and then contested Cargill's desperation triple.
Right, it was a desperation, a little pretty off balance there. Great job, and then they secured the rebound and were strong with the outlet pass. And Calvin couldn't have asked for better as far as having a good free throw shooter at the line.
88%, Trevin Winkle. Hey, stay with us after the game for the Big East post-game show. Best place to watch all the great college basketball this week, and I know they've got this one on as well, as Winkle's short on the first free throw.
That's 6 for 6 for us, Bob, I think.
Big East post-game show features final stats, analysis from Mike Lefebvre, and a number of awards to pass out today. Winkle with his 5-point lead makes it 6. 28 seconds to go. Bill Saul will take a timeout, and Calvin now in control, but the 3-point shooting for Hope has been pretty good today, Mike. They've been able to hit at 48% from downtown. This is a team that shoots 28%. Yep. I remember the game at Holland this year. After the game, Hope won, or rather Hope was leading for a while, led by as many as 12. Calvin charged back, won by 15. Talked to Bill Saul after the game. He said sooner or later that three-point shooting percentage was going to come back to earth for Hope. Yep. And it did in Holland. Today, it has not.
It has not. It has not. Yeah, 47% from the three-point line, and it's really kept them in the game. A number of big ones early by Cargill, but it's been spread out throughout the team here. A couple of the big guys as well, hitting shots from the top of the key.
Knights not too shabby either. They're shooting 45% on 9 of 20 from downtown. It's our Gerald R. Ford International Airport. Let it fly. 3-point stats. And a critical part of this game today, as it usually is, college basketball these days.
Rob, we got a final from Trine. Olivet 84, Trine 80.
So congratulations to the Comets, their first championship in the MIAA since 2017. Now the question is, do they share it? Calvin wants that to be an answered no. Cargill, long three-pointer from the right wing. No, knocked out of bounds. And whose basketball? Calvin's ball.
Calvin's ball, yeah.
Again, Calvin forcing a long, deep three. And the Knights control the rebound. 17 seconds to go. 6-point lead. Heavy full court pressure here. Wrestler tries to inbound it. Hits Winkle on a run out into the front court. Westlake collides with him, and that'll end the afternoon for Sean Westlake. He picks up his 5th foul, but more importantly sends Trevin Winkle to the line again with a chance to make this a 3-score game. See on the replay, just beautiful pass there from Wrestler to lead Winkle perfectly, much like a wide receiver fly pattern in football, and Trevin corralled it and got hit immediately. This crowd starting to sense the victory here. And don't look now, Mike, but there's a, see it on your screen, a student in the Calvin student section with a broom out. Maybe a little premature, but this free throw might have something to say about that. Winkle gives Calvin a 7-point lead. He's got that out because this will be the 5th consecutive win for the Knights over the Dutchmen if Calvin can hang on. Winkle got the first. 16 seconds to go. He makes it an 8-point game, and it's 94-86. 16 seconds to go. Sanchez quickly into the front court to Cargill. He'll split the defenders right down the lane. Laid in with the right hand. Quick timeout by Hope. That's their final timeout. Cuts the lead to 6 with 6.8 seconds to go. A 6-point lead. Again, stay with us after the game. Hope to be joined by Bill Saul for his words on this one, and a variety of awards to pass out as well. Mentioned earlier, just a few minutes ago, Hope with that thrilling win at Trine. Give the Comets credit. Coach Sean Hargraves, a Calvin alum, goes down there and took a team that was picked to finish 4th in the conference this year. And if Calvin hangs on here, they're going to win an outright title for the first time since 2017. Actually, that was a shared title back in 2017. Great accomplishment for the Comets. Great accomplishment for Olivet to go 12-2 in this very competitive league. And their 2 losses were both to Hope, so they needed to win this outright in order to host the MIAA tournament next week. Hope would have won the tiebreaker over them if they had shared this title. So big win for them, and they're obviously cheering for Calvin right now to finish it off so they can be the outright champs. And that means that, as you mentioned, they'll host the semifinals and finals on Friday and Saturday. But first, Calvin will play in the first round on Tuesday. We'll find out that opponent here shortly. Hope will have a bye in the first round. So the Knights go to 4 wide here on this inbounds play with 6.8 seconds to go. Wrestler quarterbacks the offense into Winkle, and they got it to the right guy, and he's fouled immediately by Warman. And the clock never moved. The clock shows 6.9. Should be at least a 1/10 or 2 of a second off that. Trevin Winkle back to the line. Great job by the Knights to set up these inbounds plays to go to their top free throw shooter. Trevin racking up the points at the free throw line. He's got a career high now, Mike. That's 22. His career high was bested, or is bested from what he had just 2 weeks ago against Kalamazoo when he poured in 21, all on 3-point shots. Today he's done it from the line and done it inside, done it on the break. I think that you would call that at least a 2-level scorer today.
Well, and a good time to do it when you're a senior, your last regular season home game, last game against Hope, and big night for Trevin.
Free throw's good. 8-point lead. Cargill launches a long 3 from the right point. Rebound knocked out of bounds. And it'll stay with Hope. 1.5 seconds to go. And Calvin is going to improve to 18-7. Hope's going to fall to 16-9. Calvin will finish a game behind Hope as Sanchez fires. No, that's the way this one ends. 96-88. Another great ball game between these two coaches, Bill Saul and Greg Mitchell. They shake hands. Teams congratulate each other on just a terrific basketball game today. All the intensity we expected, but Mike, I think what was so delightful about this one, just some great offensive play right from the get-go.
Absolutely, yeah. Everybody was involved, right? Jalen Overway obviously had a lot of points early, and Luca Ressler hit some big threes early, but Trevin Winkle, and like as you said earlier, career high in this game. Jordan Scott was a big part of it, and just a total team win by Calvin here this afternoon.
Welcome inside the Big East post-game show presented by Big East, with locations in downtown Holland, where I'm sure they're watching this one as well. Of course, downtown Grand Rapids, and the one on East Beltline, and one in Midland as well. Hope to be joined here momentarily by Bill Saul as we wrap this one up here this afternoon. Some of the final shooting statistics today. Calvin finishes the game at 57%. Hope finishes at 47, and the brooms are out as Calvin comes up with a sweep, wins the season series 2-0, and Bill Saul comes over to join us now. So we again welcome you inside the Big East post-game show. Coach, congratulations. Just a terrific basketball game today. 96-88 today. How much did you expect this kind of a shootout versus a bit of a slogfest, which can often happen, right?
Not at all, right? I mean, it was, man, both teams really scored the basketball. You know, I thought defensively we had some breakdowns, but man, they made us pay every time, right? And, you know, here's a team that, you know, they struggled from three, and 11-27, and, you know, they had some guys really answer the bell. So, you know, credit to them. But man, what an awesome performance by our seniors, huh? Last home game. Right, last home game here, and you get Jalen with just a stellar performance. But man, Trevin with 24, career high. Luca was just all over the place. Can't say enough about those three guys and the impact that they have made on this program. And what a great signature game, right, to end the regular season with just an amazing effort.
We will talk much more about those guys at Big E's on Monday, and indeed those seniors just were beautiful today in the way they played. How about Luca Ressler's floor game, Bill? 9 assists today, 3 steals, and then of course the triples that really got Calvin going in the first half. But I thought the floor game defensively as well, but from both of your guards, he and Ruckert were just outstanding. You know,
Ruckert, and I thought, you know, Jordan Scott did some good things, but also was a little bit of a struggle at times. You know, that pressure can get to you, but still, I mean, I think with the amount of pressure we had, only to turn it over 10 times is pretty good. But I mean, you can't say enough about Luca, right? I mean, he is the unsung hero, always has been here. You know, it's just one of those things, like, we would never be where we're at without him, and sometimes he just doesn't get the recognition that he should. But that guy's just a pure winner, and he's really playing well down the stretch.
Coach, talk a little bit about Jalen, the way Hope defended them today. Mostly they played him one-on-one, then of course bringing some help once he got the ball, but and occasionally switched to the zone. Did they do anything that surprised you?
Well, that was a little surprising, right? I think it's the first time Jay hasn't been double in a long time. But you know, they did come in the second half with a little more fury. But you know, I thought again early in the game we were able to get him some really early looks, and that really helped us out a bunch.
Bill, congratulations. 5 in a row over Hope. Very good chance we'll see him again next weekend. That remains to be seen. But we'll see you Monday night at Big East. Talk about this one a whole lot more. Get ready for the tournament starting Tuesday right here at Van Noor. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks so much, guys.
We'll take a quick break. When we return, the Big East Sports Grill post-game show rolls on as we break down today's final stats, and Mike LeFevre passes out his awards today on this 96-88 Calvin Knights victory.
Release, relate, rejoice, revival, to live for God.
this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes. And you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
This summer, engage in meaningful music making and learning at No Crest Music Camp. No Crest Music Camp is a week-long summer day camp at Calvin University for musicians entering grades 7 through 12. Here, you'll develop your musical skills through different kinds of learning and performance opportunities, all within a welcoming, inclusive community. Spend a week learning from outstanding music educators in Calvin's state-of-the-art classroom and performance spaces. Interact with peers who are just as passionate about music as you are. Perform in such large ensembles as choir, concert band, jazz band, music theater, and string orchestra. And expand your musical knowledge through your choice of classes, like music in the movies or West African drumming. You'll emerge from your week at camp invigorated and inspired by the knowledge and experiences you've gained. Join us at No Crest Music Camp this summer.
Welcome back inside the Big E's Sports Grill post-game show. Bob Sack, along with former Calvin national champ Mike LeFabre, with you one final time here after Calvin's exciting 96-88 win in the 218th edition of the Rivalry. Had everything we hoped, but it sure had a lot more scoring than we expected, Mike. I love Bill's response on the question about did he think he was going to be a defensive battle. I think the answer was yes, and in turn it turns out to be just a shootout today. And again, the final shooting percentages, Calvin shoots 57% for the game. Hope shoots 48%. Hope 41% from downtown. On our Advantage Commercial Real Estate stats, final stats for the game, Calvin from 3, 45%. It was just that kind of a game today where the offenses really took over, and it wasn't like the defenses were bad. It was just some really good offensive action and run all day long, and give credit to both coaches and both teams for another classic here today.
Yeah, we talked about it throughout the game, right? There was not a lot of a pretty clean game, not a lot of turnovers early on, especially first half, especially not a lot of fouls. Both teams were just executing, and the defense was working really hard to keep up, but offense kind of ruled the day today.
Individual scoring leaders, first of all, for Hope College today, Brendan Cargill had 19, 15 of them in the first half. He was helped by 13 each from Parker Hovey and Sean Weselick. Weselick off the bench with a really solid game. Avery Sanchez also off the bench. He had 10. Orion Yant had 8. 6 for Carter Bishop. And 4 for Justice Mims. Marcus Warman just had 5. So the two starting guards really held in check today. Just 9 points between them. And just 4 of 14 shooting the basketball and 0 of 5 from 3. Bill Saul on the post-game show talked a lot about those seniors and what a day they had. 28 for Jalen Overway. He adds 10 rebounds to that. That's the 14th double-double of the season for Jalen. Trevin Winkle with a career-high 24. What a way to go out. 7 of 10 from the field. He added 6 rebounds as well. And Luca Ressler, 16 points, 5 of 8 from 3, 9 assists, nearly a double-double for Luca, to go along with 3 steals as well. Zion Rucker chipped in with 5 points. Parker Schwartz had 8. 4 for Trevin Winkle, and you see Winkle on one of the highlights there, just muscling up and taking the ball to the rack. That's what he did well today. Didn't settle for threes, and it was his inside game that really was so effective for Trevin Winkle. Calvin led for 35 minutes of this game. Just 4.5 minute lead for Hope in the middle of the first half, and other than that, Knights really controlled it, and every time Calvin made a move, or rather every time Hope made a move, Calvin seemed to find a way to turn him away, and just a great defensive effort as well by the Knights in key moments today. All right, time now for Mike LeFabre to pass out a few awards, and let's start with the Defensive Player of the Game, brought to you today by Straight Line Fence.
Well, we could go in a number of directions with this. Luca Ressler played an outstanding defensive game. Parker Schwartz, we talked about that during the game. He's doing a really nice job making life tough on Parker Hovey for Hope. But we're going to go with Zion Ruckert. He primarily was the one that caused Marcus Werman to have a tough night. 2 out of 11 for the field and 0 for 4 from the three-point line for Werman. And along with 4 steals that he had, just an outstanding effort. And the nice thing about Zion is he makes a nice defensive play, and he often turns it into something great on the offensive end too. So great game today from Zion Ruckert.
That's Zion Ruckert, today's defensive player of the game, brought to you by Straight Line Fence, transforming properties across Michigan by crafting fences that provide sanctuary, security, and self-expression. Committed to care and craftsmanship, Straight Line Fence has earned a reputation as Michigan's most trusted fence installers. Call them today to start building something beautiful. Well, our Visser brothers teamwork of the game tonight, I'm going to just give it in general, Mike, to Luca Ressler and Jalen Overway, the 2-man high ball screens, the way Ressler found Overway in the right position. Benefited a little bit by, as Bill Saul said, not as many double teams today from Hope as we thought, but Ressler took that opportunity, seized it, and found Jalen on many occasions inside for our Visser brothers teamwork of the game. Today's Energizing the Nights player reflects the guy who really gave Calvin a spark today. And who would that be in your eyes today?
You know, I think Calvin has looked a little different since Jordan Scott's come back. He pumps up the pace of the game. He contributes on both ends. He scored 10 points today. A lot of good defensive effort. We're going to go with Jordan Scott.
That's our Energizing the Nights player of the game, Jordan Scott. Sponsored by Playa Bowls, located at Knapp's Corner in Grand Rapids, using the freshest, highest quality ingredients. Playa Bowls serves healthy, delicious acai, pitaya, coconut bowls, and smoothies. It's your morning booster or your lunch break dream. Playa Bowls at Knapp's Corner. And finally, today's Bauman and DeGroot player of the game tonight.
You know, Bob, I'm not going to choose between the seniors when you have this. I'm going to break the rules here a little bit. We're going with a 3-way tie. Jalen Overway, obviously, with the big night, 28 points, 10 rebounds, 11 out of 19 from the field, and doing what Jalen does, along with 5 assists for Jalen, which is a great fill in the stat sheets. Trevin Winkle, 7 out of 10 from the field. A career-high 24 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, also just filling the stat sheet. And then we've talked about Luca Ressler. 16 points for Luca, 5 out of 8 from the three-point line, and 9 assists. Luca, I think, is currently number 4 all-time in Calvin at assist, and he certainly helped that today. So the 3 seniors had an amazing final Hope game, final regular season game here in Bernard Arena, and I'm not choosing between the 3 of them. We're giving it to all 3.
I will give you the benefit of the doubt on that one. No doubt that is the right call. That's the energy efficient players of the game presented by Bauman and DeGroot, where only the best heating and cooling systems are recommended for you with no upselling and no pushy sales tactics. Well, Mike, we didn't have a 15-point win, which would have given the fans a 15% discount at Pietro's today. Pietro's on 28th and Birchcrest, rewarding Calvin big wins with the discount based on a 15-point win or greater. But I don't think anybody who's wearing maroon and gold today cares about that.
Nobody cares. I think they're willing to go to Pietro's and pay full price tonight.
That's right. After a 96-88 victory, the 5th straight over Hope College. So what that does today is give Olivet, the Comets, a 12-2 record and an outright MIAA championship. Congratulations to them. They will host next Friday and Saturday the semifinals and finals of the MIAA tournament. Meanwhile, before that, though, we'll be right back here next Tuesday night. Calvin will host either Alma or Adrian. Still trying to work through the permutations of the tiebreakers on that one, but one of the 2A schools will be in. I think the other possibility on that was Albion. So I guarantee you the opponent will start with an A on Tuesday night. We'll tip at 7 o'clock and be on the air here on the Calvin Sports Network at 7 p.m. on Tuesday night. Also before that, though, don't forget to come out on Monday night for the Big E's. At Big E's on East Beltline, Sports Grill hosts Inside Calvin Basketball, our final show of the night, of the year. That's Monday night at Big E's at 6:30 on 96.1 The Game FM. All right, that'll do it for today. Thank you to so many people who made this broadcast possible. Just so many folks here at Calvin and the AV department. I want to thank our camera operators, the world-famous Langston Holquist, along with Melody Cook, Jordan Boehm, Jeff Dix, and Andy Sherbrooke. They brought you all the sights today from the game. The technical director was Daniel Boss. Alan Warner handled the graphics. Joe Belil was the assistant producer. Nate Porter was the producer. And Adam Tozer, the executive producer. Thanks to all those guys for their great work today. I also want to thank, from the Sports Information Office here, Calvin, Jeff Phoebus, and his great staff of Mike Gibbons and Brianna Nolan. And also Alan Babbitt, outstanding Sports Information Director from Hope College, for his work as well. Thanks to Brock Conkle from Michigan Sports Radio. Brad Paquita from 96.1 The Game. And Wade Cutler from WXSP for helping make today happen as well. But thanks to all of our sponsors, but most of all, thank you, the fans, for enjoying this terrific Saturday afternoon. Calvin wins it 96-88. The Knights pick up their 5th consecutive win over the Dutchmen. We'll see you Monday night at Big E's and Tuesday for the MIAA tournament. For Mike Lefebvre, this is Bob Sachs saying so long, everybody. Have a great weekend.